Yes, yes, yes. It is week 7 on the Checkdown. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy Rick Rosen. We are here for 3 hours, 10 to 1, talking fantasy football, 180 minutes of goodness. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Heavy.com's fantasy football show. We do it for 3 hours. Just me. When I say we, I mean me and you in the chat. Let's talk about football for the next 3 hours. We got a lot to cover. There's a lot of fun games today. We got a lot of good matchups. We got a lot of interesting fantasy things to talk about. Yeah, man, we got our haircut. That's the first order of business. The first order of business is how good we cleaned up. As I said for multiple weeks on the show, we weren't going to get a haircut until the Giants won. And just when you thought it was impossible, just when every survivor pool rested on the shoulders of a Northwestern quarterback named Trevor Siemian, the Giants come through with one of the most improbable Sunday Night Football performances in recent memory. I would say back to last year's 3-3 draw, the Arizona-Seattle draw. One of the craziest Sunday night games we've ever seen, not in terms of play on the field, merely the result. The fact that the Giants were able to dictate pace, to run the ball for over 100 yards, to hold the Broncos to absolutely nothing on the ground. I believe C.J. Anderson finished with 17 rushing yards. For the Giants to come out on the road in Denver and to put on that kind of performance, my number one reaction is frustrated, because there is a lot of me that thinks that that is more of the Giants team that I know than the one I saw losing on a 63-yarder to the Eagles, than the one that I saw losing by 2 scores at the Cowboys, than the one that disappointed me consistently for the first 5 weeks, the ones that blew a fourth quarter lead to the Chargers. We're better than those teams. If we're able to beat the Broncos, where is the real ceiling on this team? And are we ever going to really see them hit their full potential this year? What's going on, Alfredo? Yeah, we got a fresh cut thanks to those gigantes, baby. Keenan Allen went down in practice, Jimmy, but I think you should still be good to start him. He's a 9-target guy who has done really good work against the Broncos in the past. He had them week 1, I believe, and had a pretty strong game. So I think that Keenan Allen is a guy that, if he's not a serious injury and he's not out for the season, I think you got to roll with him. He's the most talented receiver on that core by far. They're going to get Mike Williams back in a full play accompaniment, so he's going to get a full workload, so that should mean more space for Allen to work with. Maybe they can move him around, get him some different positioning. Evan Engram did some damage to the Broncos in the slot. I think the big fantasy pickup of that game is Melvin Gordon. He had 10 catches last week. He's one of the most used backs the last 3 weeks of the season. He's really turning into that full workhorse mode as we hit the later months. Oh, baby, Jimmy, that's what I like to hear. What's going on, Tan Man? Get spoopy on me. Hey, week 7, it's extra spoopy. If you got a spoopy question you need answered right now, you can put it on the emoji board. You super chat using the super chat at the bottom, and then you get to put whatever you want on the emoji board, and I get to answer any question that you have. It might not even be about fantasy. It might be about love. It might be about tea. It might be about aeronautics. I won't be able to answer that one accurately. What's going on, Alfredo? Hey, you right, curse over Cobb, my man. Deep dish on me when you're in the Chi-Town. Alfredo, hey, I love it, man. Make sure, deep dish, you call that pie. That's not a pizza. That's a full-on pie. I have a pretty strong opinion about that. But if I'm out there, I'ma holla, because you know I could always use a free meal. Your boy eats. Will Snead, I'ma drop his ass this week. I'm sick of the fuckery. Tim, I get what you're saying. I just think that Snead was a guy that had his suspension, and then he had his suspension, and then he worked on a hammy injury, so he just never really got fully back into the mode. So I don't really think it's fair to drop him so soon, especially when he's on a high-powered offense. If you're chock full of starters all the way around, I think that's fine. I just don't think there's enough guys on free agency in most leagues that you can warrant just like letting one guy rip. especially a guy that we know can produce like Snead. Chris Ivory coming out of nowhere for you, Jimmy. Chris Ivory is going to be a top 12 running back this week. He's got no choice. He's going to get a full workload. The Colts defense has struggled with rushers early this season. It's real easy. We're going to find out in about 15 minutes if Leonard Fournette actually is out or not. We're looking on a workout. We're waiting for it. What happened to Marshawn Lynch? Well, Zach, he bumped an official and he got ejected. He bumped an official because he was trying to stick up for his actual real-life cousin, Marcus Peters, who plays for the Chiefs. Scuffle. Marshawn doesn't give a shit. My favorite part of the Marshawn Lynch story is Marshawn Lynch leaves, and then on Twitter you find out that Marshawn Lynch has gotten undressed and is heading out of the stadium, and we're like, oh shit, Marshawn left his team. That's a pretty Marshawn thing, but you got to stay with your team, homie. You got to hang back and finish the game, hang in the locker room, support your team. Then we find out he didn't leave. He just went into the stands to watch the game. That's awesome. And God forbid they didn't show him. Imagine it's the third quarter. The Raiders get a big stop. The stadium plays jump around. And then Marshawn Lynch is on the board doing the thing with his hair that he was doing a couple weeks ago. He is amazing. And I love that story. It's just one of those Marshawn Lynchy things that I just love. But his touches are going down. And that offense is probably better off with a more scat back, like the Richard and the Washingtons that they have on their depth chart. But I like the idea that Lynch is a playoff push type guy, that once the game starts to really matter, we could see a very increased role for him. I love that concept. Good morning, Bella. What's going on? Ivory, Montgomery, Thompson, or Duke need two. So Ivory's a lock this week. Now that we know Leonard Fournette's not going to play, we'll keep that posted for the next 20, 30 minutes or so. He's out working on it like right now or in the next half hour. Montgomery, not so crazy about. Thompson, I do like, and Duke Johnson, I do like. I'm going to go with Thompson. He's had really good burst, and his yards per touch are way higher than the other three we're choosing between. It's really just about opportunity, and because of the back-and-forth nature of those Eagles-Redskins NFC East games, I don't see Rob Kelly getting a lot of work because Rob Kelly's a positive game script guy where they have to be up a score, want to plot it out, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. No, they're going to need to be passing. They're going to need to move the ball. Don't forget, we talked about it last week. The Eagles' #1 offense, they call more plays than any other offense in football. So the Redskins want to slow that down. They also want to get good, nice little, bro, I'm about to bring you viewers, bro. Thank you, Jimmy. I really appreciate that. They're going to get a nice balance. Kirk Cousins has been spreading the ball around like crazy. Thompson's really been the only fantasy viable receiver on that squad. I do think if you have to pick two, Bella, let's go with Ivory and Thompson. I think those are the highest potential, the highest scoring plays of those four. And I'm going to save that as my first performance to remember of the week. We did really good on these last week. We got over a half, hitting over 50%. From now on, I'm going to try to edit the show immediately after the show, or at least start. At least not going to play given into the bye week. Yeah, Jimmy, I understand, but that doesn't make it not a divisional game, whereas if it's close and the Jaguars feel they really need to, like, you understand, the Jaguars feel like they can really win that division this year. So, Jimmy, if the Jaguars want to make that push, if it's halftime and they're not out in front, Fournette might be like, yo, give me the shot. Let's do this. I'll have the whole next week off to rest. So I don't think it's out of the question that Fournette plays, but I think you're right. The smart money is that he just doesn't dress and they go with Ivory because Ivory's not bad. Okay, it was Ivory and Thompson. Ivory and Thompson over Duke and Tymont. That's a good one. Not necessarily in that order, just the pick two. Christian, what's going on, man? Marvin Jones Jr. or Doxson for the rest of the season? I like Doxson red zone chances, and Jones' rest of schedule looks tough. What do you think? I totally agree with that. So a couple of things are happening in Detroit. The Golden Tate injury is going to up Marvin Jones, but not for rest of season. It's a brief injury. He might not even really miss time when you're talking about they're on a bye this week. Marvin Jones is a deep threat that likes to work in the slot and outside. You know who also likes that role? Kenny Golladay. He comes back from injury when they come back for bye, and that's going to make opportunities even less. You can only have so many vertical targets, and you only take so many vertical shots, and that's the problem with the Detroit offense right now, because I think the Detroit Lions are a little bit more of a run offense than we're giving them credit. Ideally, they would like to keep the game grounded and keep the game slow and keep the ball. So they're a lot less aggressive than we've known them in the past. So rest of season, I would take Doxson simply because he's the cheapest of the Redskins options, and he has been getting more looks than the rest. So relatively speaking, it's very hard to get consistent looks in that offense, but I do think Doxson has shown flashes of why they took a high pick on him and why they were so comfortable getting rid of Garcon and Jackson, because they know they have Doxson waiting in the wing. So I like Doxson rest of season, but not to blow anybody's doors off because the touches are limited in there. What is up? Check down. We are 15 minutes into week 7. It's your boy Rick Rosen. We got a crazy schedule. I mailed it in on the power rankings this week because I recorded them. Your boy's gonna take a little break when I hit the power rankings. No, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here chilling. Right now we're gonna break down the show, and then we'll take a look at the top tiers of the day, the best matchups, the matchups we want to exploit. Then we're going to look at Doomsday Prep. Next week is Doomsday. If you don't know why, check the schedule. It's coming for us. Black Sunday, Doomsday, whatever you want to call it. So we'll do some Doomsday Prep. We'll do our rankings at 11:30-ish like we always do. I love that. I love that we got a schedule that we stick to. Then we're going to playoff peaking. That is a special segment for teams that are over 500. So if you are under 500, you are not allowed to watch that segment. I sincerely apologize. Then in the last hour, we'll look at who's due, who's been struggling, names that are popular, but they haven't really been putting up numbers, and that they should have some production come around really soon. And at the end, we'll do our live draft on the draft app, live draft on the draft app. We didn't win again last week because Aaron Rodgers got hurt. We literally lost last week on the draft app. We lost by 4 points with Aaron Rodgers in our lineup. It was disgusting. We had Melvin Gordon and Le'Veon Bell. They absolutely sharded all over the competition. Gordon had 10 catches. Lev Bell had his best game of the season, $179 on the ground. And gosh darn it if Aaron Rodgers didn't cost us the week. That is super unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. We'll get him back next week, or we'll get him back in 2 hours because we're going to get right back on this horse. I filled out a bunch of DraftKings lineups today. I'm trying to go a little bit harder on the daily fantasy because there's so much information out there. And, yeah, so we'll see how that works out today. Maybe win $1 million, and I don't need to come back next week. But that's where we're at right now. Let's take a couple more questions. What's up, Robert Wallace? Watkins, Bryant, or Macklin? So Martavis Bryant, he's got the squeaky wheel thing going for him this week. He said he wants out, and they said, well, what if we give you the ball more? It's a totally fair deal. And I think that it could. What's going on, Albin? I'll get to your question in a second. Thank you so much for popping in. I think Brian could have a really productive week. Macklin is the one that really scares me. Macklin is the one going against Xavier Rhodes in Minnesota, and typically not a pass-producing offense to begin with. And Sammy Watkins is another guy that I'm just not big on. His targets have completely fallen off, and outside wide receivers haven't really dominated the Bills like you'd think this season. Gorgalore, what's going on, man? We missed you last week. Welcome back. Thank you so much for contributing to the show. Everything stops. Your question, any question, right now, and we put something on the emoji board. Welcome back, dog. You're back in style, and I love it. Got them thorns. We had the thorns hangover last weekend. I love that. And now we're back, ready to get some fantasy dubs. I'm here. What can I draw, man? What can I put on the board? Emoji board back at a 0. He wants a 0 on the board. Ooh, provocative. Here it comes. It's coming down. I want to know why you want a 0 on the board. How many goals the German league is scoring on my TV right now? Do you want an orange? None of these colors are particularly German, except that I think they're on the flag. These are the 4 colors I got for your 0, but that is fantastic. He's Germans. The Germans and their clean sheets, you know how they are. German defense, very strong. That is hilarious. Who's your German team? Who's your German team? I like Dortmund. I like Dortmund. I think that wall is the most incredible thing, man. If you don't know, Borussia Dortmund, at the end, their goal, the stands go straight up. So if you're shooting on goal, it looks like a giant wall of people. It's the most insane thing you've ever seen. Every college stadium should be built like that. This is a perfect circle. What does Rot-West Essen mean? Is that Essen? Is that Essen? Is that for the team Essen? They're not terrible. What's going on, guys? So I would take Bryant over Macklin and Watkins. I do think squeaky wheel. Yeah, Dortmund's really struggling right now. Let's go with the squeaky wheel against Cincinnati. Not the best pass defense. And I think that's a decent pickup. What's next? Simeon or Winston? Another tough call. I'm going to go with Simeon. I know a lot of people won't support that. I don't think Winston is right. There's a very good chance Jameis gets sacked in the first quarter and has to leave the game. Granted, we don't make our picks based on injuries, but I also think that Simeon is due for a bounce-back game. The Chargers' defense is pretty awful. The Chargers defense gave Eli Manning his best fantasy game of the season. The Chargers defense gave Jay Cutler his best fantasy game of the season. And the Chargers defense is not great. They put pressure on the quarterback, but that's okay because Simeon likes to scoot. And you want to devalue him because he's without Emmanuel Sanders. Benny Fowler. Benny Fowler is the name to know this week as the Broncos proceed without Emmanuel Sanders next week. That's a 0, Gorgalore. If you want to draw something on the emoji board, all you have to do is super chat at the bottom of the screen. That'll come down on me. Boom. The checkdown stays winning. I think Simeon's a fine choice. They got to have balance, and San Diego's really struggled against the pass. I think that's really fine. We're going to talk about San Diego's defense a little later. They've really struggled, man. In the meantime, though, we are here. We are working for the next 3 hours, 2.5, really. We're cruising. So let's take a look at Benny Fowler is the bomb, and he's going to get a ton of looks. Benny Fowler actually had his best game of the season against the Chargers week 1, and that was with Emmanuel Sanders out. So imagine what it's going to be like. What it's going to be like with Sanders out, and he's going to do one. Okay. What's up? PPR, pick 2. Orleans Darkwa, Latavius Murray, or Tariq Cohen. That's a pretty sketchy scenario. All right, let's get into it, Tanner. Pick 1, RB2. It's a PPR league. The choices are Orleans Darkwa, Latavius Murray, or Tariq Cohen. I think that the Ravens have been very good against the run. Tariq Cohen's touches really scare me because since Benny Cunningham's come back and Mitch Trubisky's been the starter, Tariq Cohen's all but disappeared from the fantasy radar. However, Orleans Darkwa isn't really going to get the pass receptions that make him a functional back, but I do think he's coming off the strongest game here. So if you disregard the PPR portion, because the PPR is an important part of the scoring, but when it comes to these 3 backs, Darkwa, Murray, and Cohen, you're really only giving Cohen the PPR upside, but he has such a low ceiling to begin with, other than the occasional broken big play. I'm fine with going with Darkwa, knowing the PPR value isn't there because he's coming off a very strong game, because the Giants' offensive line looks slightly retooled, because the Seahawks have been pushed around a little bit in past games, by a couple of different teams. The Seahawks ran, the Packers ran pretty well on them. And yes, Christian, you're absolutely right. Cohen, since the QB change, and Benny Cunningham has come back, and Benny Cunningham is a more experienced Tariq Cohen. And I think what's happening is after week 1, when Tariq Cohen was unleashed on the Falcons, people are seeing Tariq Cohen come in the game. Defenses are keying on the rookie and saying, hey, look, there's the explosive guy. He might be coming out of the backfield. He's very likely not taking a dive. Benny Cunningham is a more experienced guy who doesn't have defenses committed one way or the other. So if you have a little bit more mystery in your backfield, you can get the defense leaning one way more or the other. So I do think that's why Cohen's touches have slipped, and I'm okay with Darkwa in this situation. I know you're probably going to hate me. We're going to talk about it later, but I do think Darkwa is the right pick. Thanks for having my back, Christian. Welcome to the show. Pick 2. Mixon, Kamara, Darkwa in standard. So now Darkwa gets a little bit of a different look because I do think Mixon has a really strong upside play today against the Steelers. Grind out game, AFC North, always tight, going to commit to the run game. Mixon's had the highest carry usage of the 3 running backs since Bill Lazor took over as offensive coordinator, sort of replaced Giovanni Bernard, ate his workload altogether. And Kamara, I think despite the rain, if it's a PPR play, I think Kamara is a very strong play. Mixon, Darkwa, I believe, is the option there, especially because it's standard. I think you got touchdown upside on both of them. Kamara, it'd be a late game script play, and I just think that game's going to be a lot closer than people are thinking. I like the Packers when it comes to the spread. Gore Galore, you got your question. I need to drop one for a kicker. Darkwa, Aguilar, McKinnon. Wow, that's really rough, but I would 100% drop depending on your receivers, Aguilar, but if you are hurting for receivers, Darkwa. McKinnon's a bona fide starter. You don't want to be dropping him. Most people would be reluctant to start Darkwa. He's probably why he's one of the most popular questions on the show every week, because people just don't want to resign themselves. Thanks, Christian. I really hope you stick around. We are the dumbest fantasy show. We have the mostest fun, and we have some really interesting power rankings later. So stick around, and we're talking about schedules, which is, you know, the most fun. So give me Aguilar, give me McKinnon. If I had to drop someone, I would drop Darkwa, but I love Aguilar because of his big playability. So if you need receivers, keep Aguilar. There you go, Gorgalore. Go Thorns. Season's over. Go Timbers. Can I drop Rivers? I have Brady both week 9 buys. I think so. He's really struggled. I also, you know, if you have Brady, you're starting Brady every week. I also think that, Jimmy, you could have pitched Rivers to the Rodgers guy. If there's a guy in your league with Rodgers and lost him. Me, personally, I found the Rodgers guy in one of my leagues, and I was able to trade Ben Roethlisberger and Brandon Cooks for A.J. Green. I think it's a tremendous trade for me. I lose a quarterback that was a matchup starter to begin with and an inconsistent one, and I got who I believe to be the first or second wide receiver in all of fantasy right now. So for me, man, we about fight. You said start Jay Allen over Will Fuller for flex. Billy Bob, everybody did. Billy Bob, we fighting everybody out here. Everybody did. Everybody did that. Everybody did that. I'm not alone on that. I'm not alone on that. Christian, yeah, I'd trade Rivers for someone you need. Rivers is good equity. He's a good name. People know him as a guy that can put up 3 touchdowns in a shootout, especially when you look at the Chargers schedule moving forward. I think Rivers is... Billy Bob, I see you. I think Rivers is a fine backup. You might want to play matchups. Generally, Tom Brady's matchup proof, but there are people in your league streaming quarterbacks who secretly don't want to. Everyone talks about late round QB and the need to stream quarterbacks, but there are people who really don't want to. And those are the people that you should go after. Hey, Rivers, if you can get any type of flex player for a quarterback you'll never start, that's a tremendous win for the depth of your squad. There it is. If you could trade Benny Fowler, Willie Snead, Pierre Garçon, Robert Woods, Cameron Brate, even like Latavius Murray, Darren McFadden, anybody else that could, someone with high upside that isn't someone that's just going to languish on your bench. Corey Davis is the #1 guy I'm saying to acquire. Corey Davis, Corey Davis, Corey Davis. I'll scream it from my roof if I have to. I think he can win leagues down the stretch. 6 catches for 51 yards his first week. Hamstring injury flared up. He's coming back. He will come back. He will succeed. There are no other Titans receivers. He is uncoverable. You heard me say it. You heard me say it. That's it. All right. We about to fight. See, Will Fuller, though, man, Billy Bob, I feel bad, but Will Fuller, he caught one pass for a touchdown. Like, what am I supposed to do with that shit? That's the least sustainable fantasy start in all of fantasy. It's the high ceiling. I need more points than I think I'm going to get with Buck Allen play, but why wouldn't you start a guy that's getting 40 snaps and 15 touches over a guy that catches one pass the entire game? One pass. What if he got tackled at the 1, Billy Bob? What if there was a hold? You know, the guy's got one shot the whole game. He also dropped a catch in the end zone. Well, he could have dropped 2 catches in the end zone. Return of the Mac. Albin, we're taking the Mac, baby. Rest your season in standard. DMC, rolls, Mac. Marlon Mack is the big play guy that can absolutely explode for the Colts, who need a two-way run game. That is a guy who can run and catch passes, because Frank Gore can't turn the corner anymore. He can't bust out a swing for 6 yards. So there's real problems there with his limited workload, man. Drop Rivers and pick up Fowler. Jimmy, I know you want to drop Rivers. I would 100% take a look around the league and see who the Rodgers guy ended up with, and just take a look. If it's an ESPN, you can go to League Overview rosters and literally look at all the rosters at once. You can look at all the rosters at once. You don't have to manually scrolling to everybody's roster would be a huge hassle. He's got Cousins. Okay, so drop Rivers and pick up Fowler. You gotta look. Looking's free, baby. Window shopping is always free, baby. Oh, thanks, Bella. One more question. I totally missed it. One more question for Bella. I'm worried about Jordy Nelson this week with Rodgers out. I have Hilton and Pryor on my bench. Thoughts? Okay, I think this is totally justified, but a little bit of an overthink. Hilton going up against the #1 defensive backfield in football. Terrell Pryor, definitely a good matchup. Eagles pass funnel defense, but the looks haven't been there. I don't necessarily think that Jordy Nelson is going to struggle as much. Aaron Rodgers looks for Jordy. Woo! You guys see that before I did? I almost died live on YouTube. Yeah, Collins performed better than Collins performed better than Allen, but he doesn't catch passes. Collins runs between the tackles. That's his role. There's a role. I did, dude. It just crushed me, dude. I hope that was funny to you guys, because my life flashed before my eyes. It was really boring. Forever. Word. Okay, word. And we're back. That was always my favorite. Jimmy Fallon did that. He did the morning radio. And we're back. I think 0-0 soccer matches are sort of exciting, because there's always the anything can happen. Also, if you bet the under. Okay, I think I leaned back and it pushed it's not important. We're half hour in. There's 2.5 hours left. Why would you worry about something so small? Okay, so Pryor is a really good option. I just think that Jordy against the Saints is a no-brainer. It's just their #1 receiver. Brett Hundley was pretty good in preseason and has been with the Packers for a while. He's not some schlub who's had 5 days to learn the playbook. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's going to have less control at the line of scrimmage than Rodgers, of course, but it's not a matter of who... This is a rookie who's going to make mistakes. This is a guy who is coming off the bench as the backup in the system. It's a little bit closer to Case Keenum than it is to Scott Tolzien. You know what I mean? It's someone that knows what they're doing, as opposed to just coming in. So I think Jordy is fine. I understand Hilton, no. Pryor, maybe. But I think Jordy's a yes for sure. I got the sun line. It's this way. This hot. Relatively cool. Hot. Bella, hang out. We got power rankings at 11:30. They're going to be great. I think they're funny. It's, comedy's subjective. Squad. Yeah, so Collins is a between the tackle guy, and that's what Baltimore really wants to do. And then game script is going to determine whether Buck Allen gets more looks and gets passes out of the backfield. Collins performed better than Allen because the Ravens were, back and forth with that game. They were trying to keep the other team off the field because it was back and forth. If they get behind, which they should because, they're on the road this week, and Joe Flacco's terrible. So Joe Flacco's being terrible. Buck Allen gets the check downs, and he's the one that scores. Do I trust Russell Wilson this week? Not really. They did reshuffle the line, but the Giants defense is better than you think it is. I think Russell Wilson is a dart play, meaning there's a very good chance he can hit. The running is something I'm really concerned about from a Giants fan's perspective. I think that as a runner, Russell Wilson will pick up about 6 to 8 fantasy points on his own. So he is a boom or bust play depending on your matchups. I think it's a boom or bust. So do I trust him? No. Do I know he can go off? Yes. Bang, Albin. You just got checked down. Gorgalore, man. Paying for my lunch, man. I love it. What can I draw on this board, man? What is up? PPR, Brait or Jimmy Graham? Brait always. Brait is an every week starter. Think about double tight end flex. Think about trading Jimmy Graham. Music note emoji. Dude, you're crushing it. And I need a question. I gotta pull up a music note emoji for reference. Music note emoji. Music note, that's like a key signature. That's not necessarily a music note. And I need a question, a fantasy question. None of these are music notes. Oh, jeez. Oh, it's 3 of them. Oh, God. I need a question and we're going to get to drawing. And I get what you're doing because the thing fell and I tucked it in nice and now it's got to come down again. I'm wise to your plan, man. You're trying to murder me and I appreciate it because I've lost my will to live. All right. Should I start DeMarco Murray this week even though he's starting? Jimmy, I'm going to be honest with you. I think you should let that one marinate for absolutely as long as you need to. 100%. Let it sit as long as you can. Because the last time we did this with DeMarco Murray, he torched the Seahawks. The last time we did this with DeMarco Murray. So I'm not really sold on the whole, he won't play, fire up your Derrick Henry for the first time. I'm really not a huge fan of that because we got burned like 3 weeks ago. It's in the realm of possibility that players can not practice all week and then start and then be fine. Mostly because DeMarco Murray did it 3 weeks ago and I just said it. But also because Plexico Burris did it for a while. Taking ring measurements. I saw that. I'm putting this in red because you didn't specify, but also I dropped the black cap. This is good content. Yeah, I got burned by it too. We all got burned by it. And especially people that started Derrick Henry thinking this was finally the week they would start him got burned by it. He finished with like 35 yards. DeMarco Murray finished with like 150 yards. F that. He had a 70-yard touchdown run. So for me, the matchup maybe of the season for Murray, I'm going to start DeMarco Murray if I got him and just hope he sticks with it. I'm going to wait, though, until 12:30. Like, I'm going to wait until I can get absolutely confirmation that he's going to be the starter. I don't want to get burned, but I know he's quality, and I know he's got a great matchup. I don't like this, like, unibrow shadow that comes in. I can't stop seeing it. But no, DeMarco Murray, you're very, very right to be wary. It's not a great situation. I need music notes. I was going to put them in red. I think DeMarco Murray is one of several game day Who's got more upside, George Kittle or Zach Miller? Oh, George Kittle. I love George Kittle. George Kittle had really high spark scores coming out of college. That's about athleticism. And I'm going to put him right here. So George Kittle, this is one of my favorite things. John Podesta is after me. Oh no, Mr. Negativity, no! I don't know why I think that's so funny. That's the first thing he comes into the show and says. John Podesta. John Podesta is after me. George Kittle is, you ready for this? CJ Beathard's college roommate. Correlation play. They did everything together. They traveled together. They were roommates. And now they are the cheapest effective wide receiver tight end stack on DraftKings, in my opinion. Ivory in the flex over DeMarco Murray today. Smart move. I would wait on that. I would wait on that DeMarco Murray move. Just wait until they give you confirmation. Both of them are due for insane matchups. So I think we have to wait as long as possible on something like a Ivory DeMarco Murray, because it's smart. You don't want to outsmart yourself. You don't want to outsmart yourself and end up with 30 points on your bench and your whole league calling you a stu-nod because you decided to get cute 30 minutes before kickoff, you know? This is how music notes are made. Wow, this is a bad one. Yeah, there's going to be nothing worse than DeMarco Murray putting up 160 yards and not practicing all week. That's like the fantasy nightmare. Because what do we do projections? What do I keep an eye on practice reports for? There it is. If DeMarco Murray is just gonna sit all week and then start, F that. I think he knows he's gonna have a great game. He was definitely hobbled on Monday. Like, he couldn't run, so why practice? But he's gonna play, so why not play? Like, come on now. Speaking of which, I read a story today about this girl who was using online dating in England, and she met this guy, right? Very attractive, and they talk for 6 months. He always wants to avoid like meeting in person. So she's like in love. Her family says like, don't talk to this guy, he doesn't exist. And she's working, and she's working with this guy at work, and he's like, oh, you're getting catfished. And she's like, no way. And he's like, yeah. Take his pictures and put them in reverse image search. So she does. She puts his images in reverse image search. Sure enough, he's not English. He's a Turkish model. So she confronts the guy. She's like, WTF, Raffle BBQ. He's like, oh, yeah, it's me. That's me. I'm much older now. It's like, that's bullshit. Looks up his Twitter, looks up everything, finds out he's a 50-year-old guy who looks nothing like the pictures, emails the pictures, finds the guy in the picture, the actual model in the pictures, and messages him like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but someone's using your pictures as an online dating profile. He's like, oh my God, no way, thank you. And then they start talking. She meets the first guy in person. He apologizes. They go out like twice, but just to like clear the air. Then the other guy, the actual guy in the pictures, who was the catfish vessel, I guess he's the fish, not so much the cat, he's the fish. He moves to England, the two start dating, and then they get married. Unbelievable. So she got catfished to her benefit. I read that story at the bagel shop, like, they were like, that'll be $9.58, and I'm like, bonkers, dude. bonkers. And then the other guy met somebody else. The guy who was the catfisher, he met somebody else on the internet. Crazy. I'm schwitzing. Give me more locks. You're going to love the power rankings then. If you're schwitzing and you need more locks, hint, hint, you're going to like the power rankings today. You should play that Checkdown song. Top of every hour, baby. 17 minutes. We're going to fire off that Checkdown song. Gorgalore, if you, like our man Gorgalore, are looking for a ring-sized, if you're trending towards a fantasy championship, you are going to need to peek ahead to the playoffs, and we are doing that in our second hour. Playoff peeking to the end of schedule. We're looking at the worst defenses and seeing who's lined up against them in weeks 14, 15, and 16. That's the important stretch. That's the money stretch for fantasy football. We'll be looking at all that. Sterling is playing how many targets? 5 targets. 5 and 1. Killing it. Crazy Pellet. I didn't even see you come in here. What's going on, Crazy Pellet? He's a warrior. Oh, that's why. Oh, DeMarco Murray. Hell yeah. Goff or Rivers, Crazy Pellet? That's a good question. I'm going to go with Goff, but I'm going to wait until I get confirmation on Patrick Peterson's health. If he's out, definitely firing up Goff. Gorgalore, you super chatted, so I skip everything else and answer your question right now. Then I'm going to go back to Goff and Rivers because I have one more side note about that. I have a question now. I need one from Flex, from Kamara, Darkwa, Thielen, Cohen. Oh, that's it. Oh, no PPR. Well, if it was PPR, it would be Thielen, no doubt, without Diggs. But because it is no PPR, Kamara, Darkwa, Cohen, I'm still going to go with Thielen. I think he can get in the end zone. Case Keenum loves him. No Stephon Diggs. Thielen becomes the target monster. He's going to get 80 yards. I just need him to get into the corner end zone, and he's going to crush it. So devastating. Didn't switch lineup on time. Derek Carr on my bench while Rivers is in against no fly zone. Shaking my flipping head. Dude, you got to set that stuff earlier. Waivers Tuesday, lineups Wednesday, refresh the lineups on Wednesday, free agents, last second check Saturday, no touchy injury touches on Sunday. That's the way we play, baby. What am I mixing? Saw the headline on that, didn't know the story of it. Oh, you did? Okay, yeah, it was awesome. I was like, what am I talking about? You might be a terrible owner. You got a good team, though. You got a really good team, so you're a good GM. You're just a terrible owner. And some people can live with that. Okay, let's do this segment going into the last hour. It's not going to take this long. I don't know if y'all know this, but the most devastating part of the fantasy season comes next week. Week 8 is a very unusual number on the slate. I don't know if you know this, but there are actually 6 teams on bye. Wow, next week. 6 teams are on bye next week. No DeMarco Murray, no Leonard Fournette, no Larry Fitzgerald, no Todd Gurley, no Evan Engram, Orleans Darkwa, Aaron Jones, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, John Brown, Carson Palmer, Marquise Lee, Jaguars defense, Rams defense, Delaney Walker, Martellus Bennett, all these guys out. We have to replace maybe 50 of the top 200 fantasy producers, maybe 20. But it's going to be a really tough sled for some teams. So what do we have to do? If we can get on waivers today and make a last-second pickup for next week, I think that you're going to be in a lot better shape, and you're going to hamstring the Delaney Walker guy, the Martellus Bennett guy, who hasn't even seen the schedule for next week, doesn't think that far ahead, and doesn't know what's coming. So let's take a look at these matchups. Then we're going to come back and finish up. We're going to round up the questions. But I'll let the questions build because I want to talk about this week because week 8, 9, 10, these major bye weeks, this is when you can steal a victory. Even if your team is less skilled, you can steal a victory by playing better matchups and being aggressive on free agency. So look at these games and think about where we can extract some value. Niners, Eagles. The Eagles are a pass funnel defense, so Batard and Kittle are real options there. I like them as a DFS stack next week. Carlos Hyde is a good option next week. If Wendell Smallwood sits on Monday, nobody's going to talk about him heading into next week against the Niners. He becomes a very good option against the 49ers defense that is struggling. Chargers, Patriots, great chance for the Patriots to get rolling at home. I like Rex Burkhead in this matchup. I like Deion Lewis in this matchup. I like Hunter Henry in this matchup. I like Mike Williams. If you've not picked up rookie Mike Williams, that's the week. Pick him up now for next week. What's the ESPN alert? Oh, Judge, who cares? Melvin Gordon, huge week, but not Melvin Gordon. We're looking at smaller guys. Amendola on free agency. These are names. We're attacking small names that we can pick up for next week when there's 6 teams on bye. Of course, Aguilar. If Aguilar's a free agent, yes, go get him. Chiefs, Broncos. Don't listen to what they're saying about the Broncos. The Chiefs offense is still the #1 in fantasy. Don't be afraid to grab that second tight end, Demetrius Johnson, if you really need one. Don't be afraid to grab Chucky West if he's back from a concussion. Don't be afraid to grab the Broncos tight end whose name is escaping me. AJ Darby. Benny Fowler. Marcus Peters is going to cover Demaryius Thomas. Benny Fowler will be the guy moving the chains for the Broncos in that game. Mark it. You need to pick him up to start him next week. Panthers versus Bucks. If you're trying to replace Delaney Walker, Ed Dixon becomes your guy. If you're trying to replace Larry Fitzgerald, Devin Funchess could be still available. It'd be your guy. Jonathan Stewart, if he's getting dropped in some leagues, he's been having some pretty bad games. He could easily bounce back against Tampa. It's a positive game script. Bears versus Saints. It's a rookie quarterback going into the dome. Give me Saints D. Give me Willie Snead. Give me Kamara. These are smaller plays that have high ceilings next week when a large percentage of the player population is going to be absent. So think about all the guys in the league. You might have teams that are missing 4 guys next week. Look at all these teams. Look at all these teams that are missing guys. I can never figure out which way I'm going here. Look, this is actually a very big week, okay? 6 teams on bye does not happen very often. We have to be prepared, and these are the key matchups. These are the key matchups that we need to stick with if we want to score some points. Also for DFS, we can look at make some good exploitations. Sanders might be good, but you know, Benny Fowler is still worth a look in that league because the Broncos are going to have to throw to keep pace with the Chiefs. So I think that if we keep an eye on the schedule, as we will do even later in the show when we'll look at playoff scheduling, I think that we can still get a jump start on our league mates into next week, make a couple of quick plays, quick ads, and someone's like, oh, I got to pick this guy up. Oh, god damn, Rick already has him. That's what I go for. What's up, Suhu? Thanks for hopping in. Spy. Always good to hear from a spy, man. Heading up on the first hour here, boys. Martavis Bryant, squeaky wheel alert. What is squeaky wheel? Well, if a wheel is squeaky, that's the wheel you give grease. Tanner's a spy. Well, you heard it here first. Tanner's a spy. You know, all the wheels are fine, but that one is squeaking, so that's the one I'm going to give extra attention to because it's squeaking, and then you give each squeaky wheel a hit of grease, or else one of your axles is going to break, and you're going to have to ford the river, and your daughter's going to get dysentery. Squeaky wheel. Dez Bryant. Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Sterling Shepard, Nelson Aguilar, pick 3, PPR, Martavis Bryant, Tanner's a spy. That's a heavy question, Suhu. Let's take this one into the end of the hour. What's up, Juan? Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it. Mixon or Murray flex? I'm going to go Murray until I hear that news. Jimmy, I think Murray is like a top 5 running back until I hear news that he can't go. If he can go, he's going to go. Mixon, we know what we're going to get from Mixon. We're going to get 15 carries for 80 yards if we're lucky. OMFG. Dez Bryant, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Sterling Shepard, Nelson Aguilar. Pick 3, PPR, or Martavis Bryant. Dez Bryant, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Sterling Shepard, Nelson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers. We're picking 3 out of these 6 receivers. Yeah, crazy. I totally agree, but I think that Sanu's come back from injury. He's going to work the slot tonight. He could have a really strong game. But making the move, like, is he on free agency or you have to trade for him? Like, if you have to trade for him, I wouldn't give up a ton. Okay, so let's look at Suhu's question real quick. I'm going to put Sterling Shepard at the bottom. No fly zone. Then I'm going to put Keenan Allen. And now I'm leaving one out between Dez, Devontae Adams. No. Oh, Martavis Bryant. Okay. So, damn. You give me 6 guys. I want to start Dez Bryant. I'm nervous about game script, but he's going to break out. He's going to break out. He's the best receiver on this list. I like Devontae Adams today in the slot. I really think he can work. The weather doesn't bother me. I think when Hundley moves, the short routes become more valuable. Devontae Adams, run the drag, yards after the catch, good hands in the red zone, yada, yada, yada. Aguilar's the home run ball, though. Aguilar's the guy that you don't want to wait until Monday, but you might want a 70-yard touchdown if you do wait. I don't see Aguilar having like a Gruden grinder type of dominant game. At the same time, hold on. Free agency to replace Moncrief. Oh yeah, Sanu's fine then. Okay, so go Dez Bryant, Devontae Adams, and then either Aguilar or Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen being a safer play, Aguilar being a big time. Aguilar's the home run ball. Also have Jarvis Landry. Why do you have 7 receivers in this question? Oh, this is a good way to get the sign to fall on me. 7 receivers, pick 3. I give up. So we're leaving Sterling Shepard on the bench. We're leaving Martavis Bryant on the bench. We're leaving Jarvis Landry on the bench. We're leaving... And now either Keenan Allen. What's going on, Fedora? Hey, man. No, Giants win, cut the hair, baby. Giants win, cut the hair, baby. I said it was going to happen. Eventually. I was really nervous. I almost rocked full afro with the Giants going 0-10. Are you kidding me? How insane. You would not have been able to see the emoji board. It would have been completely out of control. Instead, we got nice and clean, camera ready. I'm out here. I'm out here. I'm out here. I'm out here. Yo, Rick, my opponent is starting Wayne Gallman. Nice, Gorgalor. You got a 1-loss team. That's amazing. That's amazing. Good thing with Gallman. No, it's not anything. I forgot this fell. Fedora. Okay, Jarvis Landry, I don't think he would... I mean, if it's PPR, you got to consider it, but I think you're better off going with the 3 that I said. Hey, Kilby O'Rourke. Sorry, I was in Dreamland for a second. That's a Nintendo pun. And King Pass. What's going on? Gentlemen, welcome to the Checkdown. This is a 3-hour fantasy football show. I'm not really playing a game. I just picked this up off the ground, and I got nostalgic AF. Who would hold this controller like this? You're a scrub. Why would you ever hold a controller like this? So stupid. This just feels right, but it's so close to each other, but it feels right. It's crazy. Brilliant design. 3 players on 1 stick? That's so stupid. Oh, man. I have Fournette and Ellington out. Had to pick up Dion Lewis and Isaiah Crowell. What should I expect? You should expect very little. Or who else could I possibly grab instead? Go look for Ivory. Go look for Chris Ivory. Go look for Ivory. Yeah, Sue, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. A little bit ahead in chat. But yeah, go look for Ivory, my man. Mariota or Wentz, Marcus or Carson. Either way, I'm still getting to your question in a second, King. I'm finishing up Suhu's question. We want to go with Dez Bryant and there's 7 receivers. It took me forever. Sorry. Dez Bryant, Devontae Adams, Nelson Aguilar. In that 3rd spot with Aguilar, you could also go Martavis Bryant or Keenan Allen, depending on how spicy you feel. But definitely get Dez and Devontae in there, and then it becomes pick one for another day. Mixon or Murray flex. Murray until we hear more about the news. Bow wow. Tanner's a great spy. He's really good. Wayne Gallman is a scrub. Minimal touches. Sheldon Richardson. Lost Rodgers and must make trade today. No, Kilby, must have made trade Tuesday. I traded Ben Roethlisberger and Brandon Cooks for AJ Green. I feel really good about that trade. I'm going to keep telling people. I have AJ Green and Julio Jones now. Wow, there's 9 days left until the NFL trade deadline, and Joe Thomas could get dealt. He has 62 points, and he already he has Gallman going. That's awesome. Dude, I dropped Mariota. Wentz for sure. Yeah, so King, Mariota or Wentz is an interesting question. I get what you're doing because it's Mariota at Cleveland, good matchup. What I do like about Mariota is since he hurt his hamstring, he stayed in the pocket at a higher rate than he ever had this season because of the hamstring injury, but also because game script dictated it. They were down early. They had to make plays to come back. But Carson Wentz is an every week quarterback one now. That's just the world we live in. The Eagles, I said it last week, number one in number of plays run and number one in third down efficiency. That means the most drives, the most yards, the most sustained drives, the most red zone trips, the most points. It's math. Most efficient offense in football. We got to start that quarterback as much as we can. Mariota all day. Crazy pellet. Come on now. Come on now. Juan, what's going on? Blunt or Dion Lewis in PPR? That's a tough one. I like Dion Lewis, but I don't think game script suits him here because Dion Lewis didn't have a good game in the Super Bowl. I would tentatively go with Blunt on Monday Night Football. I think that's a much better matchup. Either way, I would temper expectations. Some guys available for Suhu. Alex Collins, no. Gio, no. Stewart, no. P. Ryan, no. I think you would probably be better off with Crow. I would rather have Crow and Lewis than any of the available guys. Collins is a better running back, but at Minnesota is not a favorable matchup. Crazy Pellet, what's going on? Don't forget, guys, if you want me to stop the show and immediately answer your question, all you have to do is super chat at the bottom of the page. I draw an emoji for you on the emoji board behind me. I got that point right. Emoji board. And then I immediately answer your question if you have a ton. Chat's starting to move. It's 11 o'clock. Let's hit the motherfucking theme song. Sorry for my language. Sorry for my language, Mom. We gotta play the theme song, guys. It takes a minute to get ready because I had it. My computer was like auto playing Kanye for like half an hour into the show. Ooh, King Pass. Good question. Definitely Pornhub over XX Vids. It's a legitimate business, and I support local businesses. Oh, psh. X videos is number one. Dude, Palimas. Palimas.tv. You're welcome. Shouts to Dan Kirk, league commissioner, for that one. Alexis Texas or Gianna Michaels. Pee-pee touch. Alexis Texas. Oh, what's wrong chat? Oh, no. Ain't nothing wrong with that back, though. Part of the song gets intense. We are back. All right, guys. Is Fournette out this week? We're waiting. We're waiting. He's working out on the field, and we are waiting for the next hour and a half or so until Ian Rappaport gives us the news. Oh, Jeremy Maclin tested his shoulder. He's out. That sucks. Bills versus Bucks at 10 a.m. Bucks with a C. Bucks with a C. X Hamster is good. Listen, Palimas.tv, guys. You guys are missing something. So my chat is behind. Here we go. Bow, 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 bow. Mariota won't have to go to his tight end and possibly won't have his check down catching running back. Well, Christian, it's funny you say that about Delaney Walker because Jonnu, the other tight end, is still playing 50% of snaps. So he's not really like an off-the-bench scrub. He's been playing all the time. Delaney Murray expected to play. We're working on it. Get Mac if available. We like it. Heckin' good time. We love it. All right, guys, it's Fournette. We're working on it. Murray or McKinnon. We like McKinnon. More looks, more catches, more big plays. All around better than Murray. Is Fournette playing? We're waiting on the workout, bruh. I want to see you work out for me. Decker, Amendola, or Sanu. Pick one. PPR. Amendola. We got to go with the high ceiling. Amendola's become a valuable slot guy for Tom Brady, and we got to roll with him. Sanu, you're back from injury. You practice fully. That's great. Danny Amendola gets plays. Oh, Freiburg scored. Bundesliga. Big Ben, Hundley, CJ Beathard, or Andy Dalton rest of season. Don't sleep on Andy Dalton like that. That's so mean what you just did. It's Big Ben and Andy Dalton, and it's the other two below them. I do think Brett Hundley is going to make plays. Today, I'm very interested in seeing how much he runs. But he has, a matchup against the Lions. He has a matchup against the Vikings. The schedule is not simple. So I don't think it's so easy. But Dalton and Big Ben over the other two rest of the season for sure. Flex Woods with Goff, not the worst option. If you have to start Goff, again, I would wait on this Patrick Peterson news, but Woods isn't the worst person to flex them. He's due. He's one of those guys we're going to talk about later in the show that's getting targets but isn't making plays right now. Says Macklin's expected to play Suhu. You should know that Ian Rappaport 6 minutes ago. Initially, the Ravens believed Jeremy Maclin was going to play today. After testing his shoulder, he's now out for today. Back for Thursday Night Football. Get your subscriptions up. Notifications, boy. We're out here, Suhu. Decker, Amendola, Sanu, Freiburg scored. Deshaun Jackson or Funchess in a standard league. Deshaun Jackson has big playability. Don't lie. I love Devin Funchess getting 9 targets a game. It's just the reality of the situation of the work. Devin Funchess gets the work. Deshaun Jackson hasn't gotten the work. In your first "Your Boy Called It" segment last week, you picked Rivers to outscore Stafford. It didn't happen, but I still won. I still trust you. Fedora, I really appreciate that. I did do that. I did that. I did do that. I did that. But, to be fair, Matthew Stafford was getting his poop packed in. If that was a close game, it would have been a very different game script. It's not my fault. He's down 5 touchdowns, immediately goes into huck it, chuck it mode. We know Matthew Stafford's a garbage time quarterback, but I'm not in the business of projecting garbage time. I didn't know that was going to be a blowout Saints win that was almost a 30-point Lions comeback. So good on Stafford. I apologize. You were right. I said I picked that just over 50% last week in the "Your Boy Called It" segment. Jonnu is solid. See, Crazy Pellet knows about Jonnu. He knows about Jonnu, and that's why he's with the squad. Should I play Decker this week? I got most of my wide receivers injured. I could pick up Fowler instead. 100% pick up Fowler over Decker. 1,000%. I'm not an Eric Decker guy at all. 12 points for a rushing TD. Jaho gets 12 points for... If you're getting 12 points for a rushing touchdown... Hot damn, invite me to your league and get Brett Hundley. I mean, what? 12 points? 2 passing touchdowns for a rushing touchdown? Crazy. Play Decker. He's been getting good chemistry with Mariota. I mean, is he? Let's look this up. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Just give me the light. Here we go. This is what we do. Eric Decker Pro Ref. Eric Decker Pro Reference. We are looking up Eric Decker's game log this year. We are looking up his stats for the season. I mean, good chemistry, whatever. That's not quantitative, but at the same time, I just don't think his targets have been... I mean, his targets are getting better. Negative game script against Indy. Where did that come from? 2017 games. Oh, I went by receptions. Sorry. Week 1, negative game script, no targets. Week 2, positive game script, 3 for 32. Week 3, that was a close game, very little involvement. Blown out. So this is a shootout, week 4. This is maximum throwing the football. 2 catches, 13 yards. His targets are up. That's great. Corey Davis is coming back and is going to wipe away his value. And still, this is a red zone receiver with no touchdowns. No touchdowns. All his life, he's been a touchdown guy, right? 2 touchdowns in 2 seasons. Okay, the targets were there last week. I'll concede that. I'll concede the targets were there. But the bottom line is the numbers aren't. And it's the same thing for a guy like Funchess. I totally agree. But along the same lines, I think Devin Funchess is way better than Eric Decker as a fantasy wide receiver. Crunching the numbers, crunching the numbers. Decker blows, Decker blows. Rashard Matthews or Devin Funchess, half PPR. What's up, Carrie? What's going on? We literally just got done talking about these 2 teams. I'm not sure how long you've been here, but we're comparing Eric Decker to... Wow, I'm fucking up. Sorry for my language. That's only the second curse today. I just looked up Benny Fowler. He's only 13% owned. Yeah, that's going to change. That's going to change like crazy. Week 4 against Seattle wasn't a shootout. It's my Monday Night theme song, Dora the Explorer. We did it. Monday Night best game ever for sure. Last game being more specific with Decker. The last game being more specific, sure. Like division game on the road. Down 2 scores at the half. Just sit nice. The check down. How was the show last week, Rick? Well, I fooled around with the controller on top of my television for the entirety of the second hour of programming. I think the engagements were fine. You know what? I was doing better when I was playing with it. Okay, Carrie. We're going to get this. Rashard Matthews or Devin Funchess, half PPR. I think Rashard Matthews is toast. I think he's overrated. I think he's not going to produce this week. And I think he's just waiting for... What's up, Armo? I think he's waiting for Corey Davis to come back. When Corey Davis comes back, he's going to light up the NFL. Corey Davis, Corey Davis, Corey Davis. I would go with Devin Funchess this week. Good matchup. Chicago does a really good job of shutting down the number 1 wide receiver. Devin Funchess is the number 2 wide receiver. I think he's going to work the slot. I think he's finally going to score. The Giants wrathed over the Broncos. Yeah, they did. We started the show with it because it's how we got a haircut, with a Giants W. Kerry, great job last night with Walker out. What's up, Crazy Pellet? Crazy Pellet. The last game being more specific with Decker. Again this week versus the Browns with Walker out. Yeah, ideally, I think that if Eric Decker ever was going to produce, it would be this week. I don't think he's gonna. You're not. Anytime, Carrie. Hang out. Carrie, we have Comic-Con footage at 11:30. Very quick power rankings. It's very quick. The whole thing's like 3 minutes. So hang around for another 20 minutes. Can you guys hear the clicking? Chelsea's like... Chelsea, I'll be on the phone with her on speakerphone. There's 2 things. One, if I'm in an Overwatch game, I'm playing Xbox, and I got the headset on, I have tells. I'll pick up the phone, right to speakerphone. Hey, Chels. If I say, hey, Chels, she immediately knows that I am playing Overwatch. It's a tell. It's a giveaway. She's like, oh, you're not focused at all. You're not even really listening to what I'm saying. Yeah, great. Oh, great. And then the other one is on speakerphone. You can hear your little hands going hamzo on the concho. And so she's like, yo, you're playing Overwatch. You're not even really listening. So get fucked. Hang the phone up. Week 9 is looming for Corey Davis versus the Ravens. Corey Davis, every week starter when he comes back. Every week. Remember when Marcus Mariota was pooping the second half of the season last year? Run it back for Corey Davis. 100%. Go get this dude. Armel, Jameis playing today, or do I start Tyrod? Jameis is playing. I would probably still start Tyrod with the rushing yards, with the bonus. Buccaneers getting their linebackers back, but they weren't great to begin with. In the secondary. Not like their linebackers weren't great. Like Quan Alexander, Levante David are very good linebackers, but it's not going to help the Bills offense. We're going to work it to McCoy as much as they can, and I love Nick O'Leary today. Nick O'Leary is Charles Clay's replacement. Drop Kyle Rudolph for Davis. I got ASJ. No, Jimmy, I wouldn't do that just yet. I would spend, because nobody knows about Corey Davis and the Titans are heading to bye, take a day and shop Kyle Rudolph. It's annoying sending trade offers, but you have to do the legwork to shop these guys instead of just giving them to other people for free. You do not want to do that. You want to get value. Sanu versus the Pats secondary. We like that. John. What's up, John? Thanks for hanging. Crazy. You're just answering questions now. I like that. I like you hang. But Cooper Kupp versus Sanu. Sanu, yeah. But I would wait on that news, John. John, I swear, if you hear that Patrick Peterson won't play, you need to go Sanu. That's an early start. That's in London. That's an early start. If you hear Patrick Peterson won't play, you have to fire up Cooper Kupp over Sanu. Sanu, fully practiced this week. Cooper Kupp, red zone, targets. Likes Jared Goff, works really well in the slot. If the Cardinals have to go without Peterson, they have to move Tramon Williams outside and Bethel in the slot, or vice versa. Either way, exposed secondary, exposed. So please wait on that injury news. Wait on it. We're going to find out in the last hour. We're going to check for Patrick Peterson. We're going to check for DeMarco Murray. We're going to check for Leonard Fournette. I'm pretty sure that one's going to be easy, but we are going to make sure we do the injury rounds in the last hour to make sure that we got our lineup set. We're not going to take any mystery zeros. Here on week 7, let's take a look at the matchups. Bang. My tier 1 matchups today. Should Martellus Bennett get more weak this week, Rodgers? I mean, it's no telling Suhu what Fournette officially inactive. There you go. No telling where Brett Hundley's going to go with the ball, man. Honestly, there is no telling. Because rookie quarterbacks, they favor other things, you know? We've talked about this in the past. You got a guy like CJ Beathard. He's got his college roommate at tight end. He's going to trust him more. Nobody threw to Kobe Fleener more than Andrew Luck, college roommate. Third receivers tend to have connections with second quarterbacks just because of practice reps when it comes to timing and things like that. So I think that it's totally legitimate that Martellus Bennett has a strong game, but I would wait. But that's personally why I think Devontae Adams is going to have a strong game today because Hundley is the second guy. Second guys work with second receivers. Fleener is pissing me off. Fleener's garbage, dude. Get Fleener off your team. Get him off your team. Nobody wants him. You don't want him. Get him off your team. It's over. Tier 1 games this week. Saints-Packers. Don't worry about the weather. I think this is a fine game. The Packers secondary is decimated. That's pretty bad for playing the Saints, who aren't as good on the road, but have an explosive offense, usually leading the NFL in points per game. The real crazy thing is Mark Ingram coming around. Since dealing Adrian Peterson, Mark Ingram had his best game of the season last year, his best game in a while, last week. And those touches should continue. Positive game script for the Saints. They should be leading. Brett Hundley not expected to do much, but like I said, this is not a 6-day training limited game script. This is not Josh Freeman on the Bucks, Jacoby Brissett on the Colts, a limited prep. Brett Hundley has multiple preseasons under his belt, multiple seasons in the same offense. He knows what he's doing. It's going to be okay. What's going on, Kyle? Thanks for checking out the show. What's up? Austin Hooper or Bennett PPR then. I would go Bennett simply because of looks. Hooper's been getting 2 to 5 targets per game, not as many as Bennett. And I think with the tight end, you're likely to see more intermediate passing from Hundley, and I would take Bennett over Hooper there. I was able to grab Safarian Jenkins. Bang, bang. Is Marlon Mack a stash? Yes, Marlon Mack's going to eat today. I could roster a much-needed wide receiver if I drop him. Robert Turbin is injured, giving me pause. I think Marlon Mack is 100% worth a stash. Again, he is explosive. He is dynamic. He can catch and run. He can turn the corner. He is everything Frank Gore was, and he hasn't fumbled yet, and he's been breaking off big runs. So all of the stars are aligned for Marlon Mack to get more touches. Plus, you got Chuck Pagano saying we need to get Marlon Mack the ball more. Plus, they're going into a run-favorable matchup. All of that paints a picture. Yes, I would take Marlon Mack over Crow and Lewis. Yes, 100%. It paints a picture for Marlon Mack being a featured back today against a bad run defense, meaning he's going to have his best game of the year, and we can sell high next week, or he can become a starter for the rest of the year. It's a very possible breakout game on the horizon today. Very possible. Probably not going to do shit because we just talked about him so much. Language, Rick. Language. Gordon, Mixon, Mack, Ivory, Murray. What say you? I say you got to hit the trades, dog. But, I mean, Ivory was good to have. But after this week, you don't need Ivory. Because when you think about it, you have 3 part-time backs with Mixon in there. Who should I drop for Mac? Crowell or Dion Lewis? I would say Crowell. I don't think anybody's picking him up. If you change your mind, you can pick him up. Nobody's going to pick him up. 5 points a game. F out of here. Oh, Fedora, if you don't have Jake Elliott on your team, I don't know what you're doing. That's the #1 offense in football. I've been very staunch about this the past couple weeks. Jake Elliott is the #1 kicker. Jake Elliott, Jake Elliott, Jake Elliott. The dude's awesome. Do I drop DMC? I would drop Rawls at this point. I think that backfield is just a little muddy, but also if it depends on how you feel about the Zeke thing. Personally, forget that. Albin, I hope you're not listening to every word I say with your finger hovering on the mouse, because I think DMC is the right drop there because he offers the least production potential out of those 3. And, oh, nice. I'm a doo-doo. Rob, thanks for coming in the Checkdown. Hang out 10 minutes. We got a really good power rankings. It's funny. I think it's funny. Honestly, I think it's funny. Yeah, drop Darren McFadden. A couple of healthy scratches at the beginning of the season. That's the thing. That's the shit I don't like. Swearing. I need a jar. So Amari Cooper, I told you to go get him. Breakout. Squeaky wheel. If you don't think the squeaky wheel theory is a good theory, look at Amari Cooper and then apply it to Martavis Bryant today and see what happens. The only difference I think is that Martavis Bryant really only works in those deep shots, and Ben's been throwing the deep shots. He's just been missing. So it's just a matter of, is he gonna hit? Is he gonna hit here? We are doing power rankings in 9 minutes. I am out here. This is the Checkdown. This is week 7. I'm sending a text because it's hard with 3 hours and you got to do stuff. Yeah, so tier 1 matchup, I think Saints-Packers is locked in. I also think Cowboys-49ers is a great matchup because personally, I don't think the 49ers or the Cowboys defense rather is as good as advertised. Sean Lee's coming back, and that's going to hurt Carlos Hyde's ceiling, but I do think that CJ Beathard is going to be able to move the ball just like he did against Washington last week. I think that he's got a good arm, he's smart, and he could scoot, and all those things bode very well for a good rookie debut. Remember, this is like the team. Sorry. Kyle Shanahan likes to move the ball, and CJ Beathard has been the Niners have been in every game. Remember, they've had a couple blowouts, but they were in the game against the in the game against the Rams, in the game against the Cardinals, in the game against the Seahawks, in the game against the Redskins. They have been competitive in the majority in the game against the Colts. They have been involved in the outcome of the majority of their games this season. They are right on the brink. The Cowboys don't have the same offensive line dominance they had last year, and that affects them. And I think it's a good matchup for them. And then Super Bowl rematch is obvious number one matchup. Let it fly on all your Falcons, all your Patriots. That's going to be a shootout, hopefully. What's up, Suhu? Frank Gore starting can pick up Max, Stewart, Breda, or McKissick. Honestly, that's rough. That's a rough decision, Gore or Mack, because it's the Jaguars' defense, and I think they are going to be able to run. I just wish that you had better running backs. That's a tough call. I would leave in Gore. I like Mack, but he's not the starter. And if you have Gore, I just can't endorse dropping Gore for Mack. I just can't. It's just such a tough decision to just be like, yeah, drop this guy for his backup, his exciting backup. That's what we handcuff. We want both, It's a tough call to do that. McKinnon, Darkwa, Miller riding the bench. Where's that come from, Crazy P? Where's that come from, Crazy P? I like McKinnon. I like Miller. Oh, Albin, I got you. Sorry. Chiefs D or Texans D rest of season. This is a tough one because I think that the Texans secondary is better. The Texans are better at making plays. The Chiefs are better at locking teams down. It's crazy how bad the Chiefs defense was against the Raiders, and it scares me because they got to play that team again, and that's typical of the AFC West teams of how they play. That's a typical AFC West matchup, and the Chiefs defense made no plays, which sucks. Ideally, I would keep them both and play matchups because the Texans play enough trash teams that you're going to get your money's worth against good matchups, and the Chiefs D can make plays. Can we get a shout out for the Yankees young guys carrying them into Game 7? No. I have a picture of that Frazier swing. Look at this. This is an MLB swing. Look at this. Who swings like that? Who swings like that? That's not even the young guy. That's the old guy. Who swings like that? Who swings like that? I can't believe he swung like that. That's Jerry Seinfeld complaining about Todd Frazier's swing. Yeah, Anthony knows. Tony Fedora knows what's good. Oy, geweldig. Multiple thumbs down. I'm so happy that's dead. I'm so happy that's dead. The thumbs down can never come back. We like that. I did like what's his face. Bird slaps a double, right? Slaps a double, gets up. I like that. I like that. It's very subtle. I like that. But I'm ready for it to die. And good, the season's over. It's dead now. Peace. That's it. Remember when we all did thumbs down that one playoff run? That was crazy, bro. Every Yankees fan next year. All right, Juan, what's up, man? I'm guessing that's Duke Johnson, Gallman, Gillisley, or Rawls, because everyone else is Trizash. If anything, I would say Duke, because if PPR, otherwise Gillisley. Huge night. Think about this for Gillisley. Someone proposed this to me. Let me just wipe my screen off. Gillisley, heading into Sunday Night Football, can either secure his spot as the goal line back and keep it locked down maybe for the rest of the year, or if he has a bad game against the Falcons, he could legitimately lose his job for good because he's struggled. It's rough. That's what's on the line tonight for Mike Gillisley, which is crazy. After the fumble, yeah. There's a chance that he gets totally used. Rex Burkhead is back. Dion Lewis is coming on strong. There's a good chance Gillisley takes a dip here and just doesn't come back for good. But I think that based on the game script and the teams tonight, that he could get some work. He gets some work. Who you got this week? Standard, Adams or Rashard Matthews? Albin, I like Adams. I think he's a better pick than Matthews, who's been struggling to get big games. Do I think Gillislee's even worth a start? A fringe start if you have to. I'm not a big Gillislee guy. I wasn't a big Gillislee guy. I look stupid after 1 week. I look slightly better after these weeks. I don't think he's that good. I just think there's too many backs. James White, Deion Lewis, Burkhead being back is my favorite. Remember, Rex Burkhead, 6 touchdowns or I eat a picture of his face. That's the checkdown promise that I made stupidly week 1. It was week 1. I got really excited. I don't know why I did that. Hundley for Adams. See, I like the Hundley to Adams connection. I did a Hundley-Adams stack in a DraftKings league thinking that Saints defense, they get hot. The Packers have to move the ball, guys. The Packers have to move the ball. Brett Hundley threw a lot of passes at UCLA. Brett Hundley's got multiple preseasons under his belt. He ain't no baby. That's all I'm saying. I'm not promising anything. I'm saying the Saints defense is not otherworldly. Brett Hundley is not Scott Tolzien. He's not. He's not. He can move the chains. And guess what? He moved the chains against the Vikings last week. That game was not out of hand. That was a 10-point game forever. You have to keep playing defense at that point. You have to keep starters in at that point. And he was able to move the ball in Minnesota against that defense. Not the worst. Was that bet Rex Burkhead 6 touchdowns or he'll eat what? Rex Burkhead scores 6 touchdowns or I eat a picture of his face. Rex Burkhead scores 6 total rushing or receiving. He's already got 1, but he's missed 3-4 weeks with an injury. Rex Burkhead scores 6 touchdowns or I eat a picture of his face live on the show. Matte finish. Glossy makes me queasy. Something in the acids. It's a matte finish. Standard printer paper, black and white. I'm not going to make this any harder than it needs to be. Not that I'm going to do it because he's going to score 7. But if he doesn't score 6, I will eat a picture of Rex Burkhead's face. Where does this come from? I started him week 1 of the season, the Mike Gillislee 3 touchdown game. I had Rex Burkhead, all right? He got some carries. He got some targets. It wasn't a non-factor, but I got destroyed. I got destroyed in my league, my home league, for starting him. And because I started the Kareem Hunt, I played against the Kareem Hunt guy first week of the season. So when you're looking at guys' first games of the season, I'm playing against the guy who starts Kareem Hunt, and I'm starting Rex Burkhead. I look like a schmuck. I look like a schmuck who hosts a fantasy football show. So that's how that starts. And then I get aggressive. I want to promote the check down. I make the bet. And now I am here unafraid, not afraid. Take a stand. Everybody, take my hand. Watch me eat this picture of Rex. Afterwards, we'll have some rhymes. You'll season that picture with the salt of your tears. It will happen. I might season it with some berries. I might blend it into a smoothie. I might eat the Rex Burkhead picture live from my kitchen as I stir it into a soup. You don't know how I will prepare this. I come from a cooking family. I will make it delicious. I will make Rex Burkhead delicious. Not that he don't need no help. Best looking players power rankings next week. We're out here. Okay, it is time to do our check down power rankings. If you're ready for the power rankings, let me see it in the chat. If you're ready for the power rankings, let me see it in the chat because I want to make sure we're all here. It's going to happen fast. It's like a 2-minute video. And it's from Comic-Con a few weeks ago. I recorded it. I did super minimal editing. And we went with a camera guy and a microphone and very little expectations. And we have some super dumb footage that I hope you like. This was one of the crazier characters that I found while we were on the convention floor. So I fired it up and it's short and I have it for you and I hope you enjoy it. And this is what we aim to do on the check down. We have a reverence for a reverence. So without further ado, I give you the check down Week 7 power rankings from Comic-Con. One of the more tremendous cosplays I've seen today.
Cosplay?
Sir, you showed up and you described your costume in one word to me. And I said, what are you? And you said,
I'm Jewish.
Hava Nagila. How about that? You're really repping here.
I am.
What's with these? What's with the boots?
I'm a professional wrestler.
Oh, really?
On top of being Jewish, I wrestle every weekend up and down the East Coast, internationally.
Okay.
I throw my hat at people. I hit people with bagels.
Oh my God.
My name is Matthias Glass, the Hasidic Outlaw.
Is that because Hebrew Hammer was taken?
I don't like that one. If I was going to be anything, it'd be the Mighty Schmuck.
I like that too. So you call your boots jutes because they're Jew boots.
No, that's a good one, though.
Finish this sentence. Baruch atah Adonai.
No. I failed Hebrew.
Oh my God, we're combusting the sound. Okay, so yes, it's lagging. We're trying to figure it out. No, yeah. I'm working on it. Okay, so what's happening is, where's the dumpster fire? The dumpster fire. Did you guys see? Did you guys see Brett Hundley warming up? There he is. There's Brett Hundley, the pride of Green Bay. Just the 6th Packers quarterback to start it the last 25 years. The pride of California. He played college in the West Coast, lost to USC a bunch, and now he's on the Green Bay Packers. God damn, I'm trying to figure out what went wrong with the YouTube. It looked like it was going to be entertaining. Too bad. Yes, no, I totally understand. I'm trying to figure out why is that like that? Because everything else is fine, and it played yesterday, and now it's like, you know, that doesn't equate. And if that is the way it is, that's going to make it really hard to play things. Can I load the videos before I play them? Well, that's the thing, Anthony. It's embedded into the streaming software. The video, I know, thanks Fedora. I know. The video is embedded into the page, so I just click go and it goes, and then when I'm not online, obviously it doesn't lag. And then when I get online and start streaming, like my laptop is crying right now because it doesn't have a lot of ability to just keep things going. Kelvin is active. Do I start him or Funchess? I keep Kelvin Benjamin active. I think Kelvin Benjamin's streaking. I stay in the flames. I like that. I'm going to open the windows because, man, I'm really pissed right now. Ah! Stupid Comic-Con video. I worked hard on that. Is it warmer outside than it is? Why is it so hot today? Damson! My boss is going to log on right now and be like, there's nobody in the chair. Damn! I'm still upset. How do I do this? 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 There's literally nothing else I can close, too. Ooh, Christian, you're in San Diego. What's going on, man? Gorgalor, you're the best, man. Yeah, I know. Well, that is why it's hot. But, yeah, thank you, Fedora. But I have ways of mitigating that. It's just killing me. Man, you're filling up my board, bro. You're filling up my board. I need an emoji and a question. That's so brutal. Man, the power rankings. Man. I'm going to try posting them on my Twitter. I'm going to try posting it on the Twitter. I'm posting on my Twitter after the show. That's so stupid. Rose emoji in red. That's like impossible to jar. My ex-Chargers fan here. Now a fan of the refs. JK, just an NFL fan now. Well, yeah, I mean, it stinks, but you got to do what you got to do. Your team moves. I wish I could help. There's very little I could do to help that. Funchess over Kelvin. The super chat is at the bottom, dude. Super chat's at the bottom. What was I doing? Oh, pulling up a rose emoji so I know how to draw it. A rose emoji. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose emoji board. Ooh, the more I compare Kelvin to Funchess, yeah. That's the song. It's a jam. Okay, I got a rose emoji. Holy jeez, man. We gotta draw this? Good lord. Can't you just add the link down below and we watch it at our leisure? Okay, Anthony, here's the problem. It's not on YouTube because I wanted to make a longer Comic-Con clip and post that to YouTube. This is just a 2-minute tease, a taster, if you will. I would like to put it on my Twitter right now, but I can't because I'm doing the show. I'm going to try to put it on my Twitter right now. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh. Man, Seal is a bop, dude. Much better for fantasy football. I know, but you still want to see your teams win it, and I'm sure in the Tomlinson years, you would have liked to see your team win it. Walker is active. Ooh. Bye-bye, Janu. That's a good start. Single high safety for Cleveland. Jameis Winston is active. Ooh. We got a lot of crazy actives today. As we hit, we're heading into noon. We're heading into our final hour here. I'm trying to get this tweet off to post the video in it. Jeez. Jeez, what a calamitousness. Man, lag, man. That sucks because we've had a hard time with any type of video in here, and now it's like really killing us. Oh, we're posting it. Very true. Would have beat the Patriots in the playoffs that year. Fumbled interception, 100%. People don't think about those Charger-Schottenheimer teams. They were really out here multiple times over. Multiple times over. Very skilled team. Like, over and over again. Okay, can't attach the movie. Can't attach the movie to a tweet right now. Brutal, man. Brutal. Let me see. Let me try one more thing. Damn. I keep cursing because I'm frustrated. Hey, Paul, how about Kurt Angle coming back? I love that Kurt Angle is back tonight. He's wrestling for the first time in a decade on the WWE pay-per-view. My biggest issue with that is the fact that every time an old wrestler comes back, I get so excited for it, and then what happens is they do like 3 spots, and then they're doing the 90s wrestling thing where it's just 2 guys crawling around until one of them gets into the right position to make a move. Then they do a B minus spot, and then they, then the same thing happens over and over again. There's going to be like an extendedly long sleeper hold because there always is. That's my frustration. Am I excited to see it? Of course. Oh my God, Twitter ads. Oh my God. It's just refreshing over and over again. Every time I click the box. Wow. Anything on Cards Peterson? I haven't heard anything on Patrick Peterson yet. I mean, that news is coming from London, so it takes extra time for it to get across to us. I think everybody knows that. I need to draw a rose, but I also have to get this. Okay. Okay, select video. To upload a new video, go to your media library. Oh, I like where this is going. We're going to our media library. All the early inactives for week 7. I want this link. I want to click on it. Ooh, the more I get at you, the stranger it feels, yeah. In 17 minutes, we're going to get to, Twitter Media Studio, a comprehensive console for your creative concepts. Yo, F that alliteration, dog. That's garbage. Wow, this has all the screenshots and videos I've ever used, and I can't upload my .mov. Ugh. Okay, after the show. 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 Damn. Why do we work on stuff, and then why do we test it, and then it just doesn't... We need more RAM, dog. We need more RAM, dog. Keith is right. We need more RAM. Trade alert. I got an offer. I'd trade off Brady, Mixon, and get Winston, Landry, Abdullah. That's a horrible trade, Jimmy. Don't ever do that trade. Don't do that trade ever. In fact, go yell at that guy for sending you that trade. That's rude. Why does the Gronk interview... Stay with me here. Why does the Gronk interview work? But the other one is slow. Just hang with me here. I'm going to pull up the Gronk interview. Rob, what's going on? Thank you so much for being on my show, The Checkdown. You're the first ever player to come on my show. How does it feel, first of all?
That feels special, man. It's awesome, man. I'm glad I get to be the first player ever. That's awesome.
I'm super grateful. Why don't you talk about real quick what you're doing with Tide?
I'm doing a little special with Tide. I mean, it goes along great because they're coming out. They came out with the Tide Sport Pods, and you know that, like, amateur athletes can stink just like professional athletes. I mean, it's not just us who are always stinky after games. Amateur athletes, I remember growing up as a kid, I was always smelly after games, and just the way to just get that stink out of you, get that smell out of you, you can use the Tide Sport Pods, and they're just awesome. I mean, it'll take out the odor out of any athlete's gear, and it's just awesome. And I did a couple commercials too, and they're coming out next week. And I'm dressed as a kid with pigtails on, as like a little girl, and just showing that I stink just as much as a little.
What's up with that? What's up with that? No, it's not YouTube, because if I play the power rankings, I think it's file. I think it's file type. I think it's .mov versus MP4, because that was a MP4, I think. Give me one second. Rob, what's going on? Thank you so much for being on my show, The Checkdown. It's MP4. It's MP4. MP4 to MOV. So we could do the file change. I mean, let's try this. Let's just try this. Jeez, let's just try this. Let's just try this. Okay, where's the movie? We saved it. I saved the movie somewhere. Here it is. Can I change file type? Share. That's like save as, right? The share button. Nope. Okay, so let's go. If I open iMovie, how bad is this thing going to struggle? I want to show this video right now. I want to show this video right now, Manny. Manny, I want to answer your question, but I edited my power rankings video from Comic-Con, and I want to watch it with you guys because I think there's some jokes in there. Jokes and jokes and jokes and spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. Let's look up Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson. Patrick Pettersob. Okay. Projects. This is the project. Cancel. Share. Are we lagging now? Are we lagging yet? Format. Share. Doesn't seem to be letting us do it. I love that I'm just going through iMovie with you guys. iMovie closed. Patrick Peterson, Patrick Peterson, Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson expected to play? I believe so. Game day with my Cardinals brothers. I can't wait to see international fans in-house, ready to put on a show. Patrick Peterson looks like he's going to play, guys. Was limited for most of the week, but practiced fully Friday. Okay, that's good enough for me. Keenan Allen's trying to be too fancy with his facial hair. There's nothing I hate more. Okay, Manny, I'm out for you. What a crazy diversion. MP4's MOVs. Who knew? Yeah, there's a London game, but it's at 1 o'clock. So it's a prime time. It's Sunday night football in London. It's at 8 o'clock their time. So it's yeah, Cardinals-Rams is in London. It's at the cricket stadium, Twickenham Stadium. First off, I beat down Joey last week. My man, I got a good one for you this week. Pick 2, PPR, Kamara, Ivory, CJ, Duke. Wow, this is crazy because Kamara and Duke are really good PPR options, but Ivory and CJ are legit top 10 running backs this week, and I think you can't sit any of them. It was crazy that Anderson's touches were as low as they were against the Giants. He kind of got game scripted out, especially after the pick 6, but I think the two of them could each go over 100 yards and score. Kamara, game script, PPR, Duke Johnson, same way. They're going to get their 6 catches. They might score, but I think the biggest thing for your team is the most points possible. Maximize Ivory's opportunity, which is huge against the Colts defense, and CJ Anderson against the Chargers, which has been one of the worst defenses in the league. Let's wrap up. Man, I'm really pissed about power rankings over and over and over again. Bah! Bah! Humbug. Let's send real quick. I got to draw a rose, too. Oh, my God. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to text our editor right now, Keith Gerard. We are going to... we are going to talk about strength. We're going to draw a rose, and we're going to talk about strength of schedule. And then we're going to wrap up this hour, and then we're going to do our last hour. More questions, injury wrap-ups, live draft, and then we're going to settle in for some football. Week 7, baby. Okay, rose. Draw a rose. La da 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 da. You're the man. Thanks, Manny. Thank you, Manny. Ooh, there's so much that I can tell you, so much I can draw. Checkdown. I hope you guys like that noise. Every thorn has its rose. That's not how that goes. That's not how that song goes at all. Every thorn has its rose, just like every face has its nose, just like every cowboy doesn't shower and is gross. Oh, we're going to put it right next to the broken heart. For 808s and heartbreak. That's not for sadness. It's for 808s and heartbreak. And it was the last thing we drew with our Dead Red marker. Our Red Dead Redemption marker. I think there's a way to do it with QuickTime or VLC. Hold on. I'm live on the air trying to figure it out. He knows. He'll get it. He'll get it. He'll get it. And then I won't send him the emoji. Okay, so there's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm getting better at drawing through this show. You're getting better at fantasy. I'm getting better at drawing. And together we are getting dubs, dubs, dubs. Okay, so I'm putting it over in the corner. There's like a... This is like the top. You can't see it, huh? Over the top, out the edge. Over the top, around the edge, peeling in. Every thorn has its rose. Basically, the song of my generation. It comes down like a little loop. It's like bulbous. It's a little hourglass shape. This rose is stupid thick. Spooky thick rose here. Little light coloring. Spooky thick rose on the checkdown. I need black for the accents. This is an involved one. We're going to hit this. I have segments to get to. Gorgalore is just like monopolizing the show with super chats. If you want to do that too, the super chat option is at the bottom of the page. And you too can super chat. And when you super chat, I answer any fantasy question you want. And I draw any emoji you want on the emoji board. What a flippin' deal that is. There's some thorns on this rose. Every rose has its thorns. Every rose has its thorns. Just like that Bon Jovi song, we're preying on a life. Like that Phil Collins song, I Can Feel It Tonight Coming. I can feel it tonight coming. Just like that Britney Spears song, Hit Me Time, give me one more, baby. Is the joke coming through? Is it getting through to you? Are we doing it? All right, I think we did pretty good. I don't draw. I don't draw. I don't draw at all. Something's wrong with that tomato. But I don't draw. Just another day in paradise. I got paradise. And I'm giving away 2 tickets. Wasting a margarita another day. That rose is awesome. Thank you, Gorgalore. Thank you, sir. I'm trying, man. You give me some real curveballs there. From a distance, that's pretty decent. We got, look, we did the, these are all the ones we did today. We did the rose. Let me go this way. The rose. We did the 0. And we did the music note up in the corner. My mom would hang that rose on our fridge. Nicely done. You guys are gassing me up. You guys don't really think that. But I really want to get the power rankings up. Let me try one more thing. My editor recommended that I try to go through VLC to get this converted. And wow, we're giving it a shot. Choose a file. I'm choosing a file. I'm opening a file. Treat as pipe rather than file. Streaming and transcoding options. What? Oh, VLC, you slay me. Capture. I use VLC for watching Rick and Morty. So I'm not used to using it to convert video file types. I'm giving this my best shot because I love you guys and I don't want things to lag. Oh, it's playing. It's playing. Okay, no, I don't want this to play. I want to save as. Convert. Ooh, convert. Drop media here. We found the convert button. That's a pretty big button. Close this. Open this. Guys, I love you so much. Choose profile. MP4. Save as Comic Con rankings. Did we do it? Man, Triscuits have really stepped up their game. I'm snacking on cracked pepper and olive oil. Hot damn, my man. Cracked pepper and olive oil. That's danko. That sounds really good, man. Triscuits used to be the enemy of stoners everywhere because they were made of literal stalks of wheat. And they'll light you up. But they have, apparently they've turned a corner here. Okay, we got a new one in. Let's just see if this works. Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't even drop. Jeez. This thing can take all media files? GTFO. We're still working. If you're watching with the sound off, I'm creeped out. That's just a start. Create new CC. Trying. Wouldn't this be crazy? Oh my god, no way. Is this working? Is this gonna work? Stop when not visible. Restart when visible. Always play even when not visible. It would appear is not visible. Huh. We really tried, man. Maybe it's still going? Is it still in the process of playing things? We're hanging here. We're still with you here on the Checkdown. Man, last hour. This hour really... This hour was a pretty big bust. I'm not going to lie. I watched the Checkdown with the sound off. My man. You got what I was doing there. I'm so pissed. I really am. Good Lord. No worries. Someday your show's going to be so big of a producer to take care of these technical issues. Yeah, I was hoping to get a producer some point through the season, but it's honestly, Chelsea didn't want to do it. Nah, fuck. It's tough. It's tough. I really wish I just had somebody to tweet all the garbage stuff that I want to, like before the show, I'm in Matthew Berry's mentions, like copy paste, like watch a show, link. That's the stuff I'd like to keep doing. If I had someone during the show to just drop that tweet on my account, like, hey, I'm answering your question live on this link. Hey, I'm answering your question live on this link. Then we're getting into very, very different production territory that I could, really use. Segment producer, all the little things. Little Things. Who sung that? Was that Sum 41 or Blink? Little things, something short. You know what I'm doing there. You get what song that is. All right, let's hit the theme. Last hour. Shake off the hour, guys. Shake off the hour. But first, let me try to get this video in here one more time. One more time. We're trying to tweet it. Hey, Rick, after week 1, traded Kenny Golladay and Benny Fowler for Arizona and Matt Bryant. I mean, not the worst deal ever. Kenny Golladay, I think, is ready to get it, but the offense isn't really supportive of that. So I think you're in really good shape. I'm just not sure. I mean, both of those guys have late season usability, so does it make me nervous? Yeah, but I'm not like, it's whatever. This is uploading. I don't believe this is actually uploading. Thumbnail not available. I don't believe this is uploading. I don't think this is uploading. But if they're going to let me do it, they're going to let me do it. Whew, we'll see what happens. Last hour, boys. Let's fire up the theme song. Tell me what you're betting on today. Tell me what you're betting on. Tell me what you're betting on. Let's talk bets in the last hour. Let's talk DFS in the last hour. We're going to do our draft app in the last hour. Live draft on draft. Oh, my computer's really cranking right now. I love it. You're a workhorse, baby. Oh, that's Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco won't stop playing. Lupe Fiasco, people tell me lasers was trash. Dude, what is happening? How could we be so late with the theme song? Rushing TDs by both CJ Anderson and Jamal Charles today. Ooh, that's spice. Tell me what you're betting on, baby. Woo, Schwitz. 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 Stupid Twitter ads. What's up, Driscoll? Your elephant's still up there, baby. Elephant standing strong. What's a good parlay to put in today? What about the Titans and the Bills under? I also like the Packers spread. You know, you got over in Pats Falcons tonight. All right, guys, let's look at this last hour. We got an important thing to talk about. Now, if you are not over 500, what's the best strip club in New York City? Don't pay. You're better off paying to get into a club. Have more fun that way. Strip club's ruthless in New York City. Ruthless. They know who you are. They know why you're there, and they know you can't afford it. Panthers -3 over Chicago has got trap written all over it. I like it. I like the under. It's got trap written all over it. I just can't see it. I mean, I can see it. I can see it both ways. Like, I can't see a blowout Panthers win. Okay, so don't look at this segment if you're not over 500. I really, really think this is important. We are looking ahead to the schedule. If you are 6-1, heading into this week, 6-0, 5-1, there's an incredibly good chance, over 70%, that you're going to be in the postseason. And when you're in the postseason, you got 1 week to get your studs in. 1 week to put up the best score. We can't have dropping Decker for Fowler. Am I stupid? No, you're not stupid. Do it. Ooh, Fedora on the under. Good tip, Chicago. We have to look at who's the worst defenses and try to project them moving forwards, right? So let's do that first. Right? When it comes to the pass defenses, we got guys, the Patriots, #1 bad pass defense. Colts, Eagles, Chargers. I want you to get used to this term, pass funnel defense. And conversely, on the right side, run funnel defense. Now, what's a pass funnel defense? A pass funnel defense is a defense that likes to blitz. They like to crowd the box. They like to make you throw the ball and pressure the quarterback, try to get bad throws, tipped balls, and turnovers, right? They're going to get beat on deep plays. They're going to give up points. They're going to give up yards, but they're going to win games by making the plays when they need to in the secondary. That's a pass funnel defense. The Colts, the Buccaneers, the Eagles. The Bucs are more like a bad defense. The Eagles are a real pass funnel defense. They rush the passer like crazy, right? Run funnel defense, right? We want to go 5 defensive backs. We want to take away the pass, force you to get in 3rd and long situations, stop the run enough to put you in a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and make you throw into our very good secondary. That includes the Jaguars, that includes the Rams, that includes the Seahawks and the Chiefs. The Seahawks and the Jaguars. Why wouldn't they, right? We want you to throw at us, so they make it enticing for you to throw at them. Run funnel, pass funnel. So we have these topics, and we have to look at these moving forward. Oh, thanks for the what's up, Yaz? I would go Hundley over Rivers, 100%. And Driscoll, give me Pryor and Montgomery. I know it's tough. I'm just not big on Gillisley. He could legitimately lose his starting job tonight. Just to touch on those quick, I want to get back to this. So we have to target these defenses because schematically, the Eagles are a good team to start quarterbacks and receivers against. Schematically, the Jaguars are a good team to start running backs against. It's not about the matchup. It's not about the game script. It's about what they want the offense to do. And if the matchup is there, we can take advantage of it, no matter what. So with that in mind, these are teams that have just decent 3-game stretches. Nobody has a dream run. Nobody has an indomitable setup where you just want to stack that team. Obviously, good offenses matter, and it helps to have a good offense to play with. But with a lot of these teams, you're going to have somebody, right? So look at these. The Falcons. 2 games against the Saints in the last 3 weeks. These are weeks 14, 15, and 16, right? So it's a 3-week playoff, knowing that the last week of the season typically is not featured in fantasy football schedules. What's going on, Driscoll? Yeah, no, Belichick with the fumble. Yeah, of course you worry that he punches in a score or two, but you also got Burkhead and Dion Lewis. Can I send in a picture and text of available QBs and we pick together? I only have Rivers since Rodgers went down. Yes, I think Hundley's a good option, but yes, send me the picture, of course. We'll do your picture, and then we'll do the draft. Draft! Falcons play the Saints twice, and the Bucs have been a sieve. Now, these are divisional games. They're a little bit tighter, but I do think the Falcons have a crazy advantageous schedule, especially for Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Julio should feast towards the end of the year here, if he gets on the right track. He's one of the guys. He's due. We're probably not going to do he's due, but trust me, he's due. The Texans are a team that have exploded in offense, and now they're one of the teams that we can look at to attack at the end of the season. Not bringing much for championship week against Pittsburgh, but that's still a matchup where points can get scored. I think the Steelers' defense is back to a certain extent. But with the Niners and Jaguars, if you're a wild card team, I would start Deshaun Watson the first week of the playoffs against the Niners. Hundo P. Hundo P, baby. Burkhead, come on now. I said it. Burkhead, we know about it. I already said it on the show once. I'm eating a picture of that dude's face if he doesn't score 6, but he will. Woo! Okay, MPEG stream clip. I need to. MPEG stream clip is what I got to get. We are now looking at one of our guests' available quarterbacks on free agency. Jared Goff, no. Blake Bortles, no. CJ Beathard, I can get into it. McCown, no. Keenum, no. Eli, no. Cutler, no. Hundley, I can get into it. Flacco, no. Kaiser, no. That's it. That's it. Personally, Beathard, game script, but also Hundley game script. Hundley, I'd be a little bit more concerned with weather. Beathard's not a terrible play, dude. Not a terrible play. Quarterback can run. He can run for a tote easily. And he's got good receivers. Oh, thanks, bro. I had to get it down. Rick, are you going to draft with that one app you do? Hubotard? Lebotard? Yeah, draft app. The draft app is coming up, baby. The draft app's coming up, baby. I'm going to go to the bathroom, I think. I really got to go, man. I'm really upset. Let me try to fire this up one more time. Oh, here it is. This is one of the more tremendous cosplays I've seen today.
Cosplay?
Sir, you showed up and you described your costume in one word. Is there sound? To me, and I said, what are you? And you said,
I'm Jewish.
Hava Nagila. How about that? You're really repping. We're going to play it. What's with these? What's with the boots?
I'm a professional wrestler.
Oh, really?
On top of being Jewish, I wrestle every weekend up and down the East Coast.
This is one of the more tremendous cosplays I've seen today.
Cosplay?
Sir, you showed up and you described your costume in one word to me, and I said, what are you? And you said,
I'm Jewish.
Hava Nagila. How about that? You're really repping here.
I am.
What's with these? What's with the boots?
I'm a professional wrestler.
Oh, really?
On top of being Jewish, I wrestle every weekend up and down the East Coast.
This is one of the more tremendous cosplays I've seen today.
Cosplay?
Sir, you showed up and you described your costume in one word to me, and I said, what are you? And you said,
I'm Jewish.
Hava Nagila. How about that? You're really repping here.
I am.
What's with these? What's with the boots?
I'm a professional wrestler.
Oh, really?
On top of being Jewish, I wrestle every weekend up and down the East Coast.
This is one of the more tremendous cosplays I've seen today.
Cosplay?
Sir, you showed up and you described your costume in one word to me, and I said, what are you? And you said,
I'm Jewish.
Hava Nagila. How about that? You're really repping here.
I am.
What's with these? What's with the boots?
I'm a professional wrestler.
Oh, really?
On top of being Jewish, I wrestle every weekend up and down the East Coast.
This is one of the more tremendous I forgot to turn my mic back up again. Oh! This is how it starts. This is the beginning of the demise, dude. We turn the sound off to play the clip. We bring back the clip because the clip sucks. We didn't turn the sound up. This is rookie stuff from a guy. I got a degree in this stuff, bruh. I got a degree in this stuff, bruh. Ay, Gewalt. Oh my god. Let me make sure it's not actually still going. I don't think it is. It's gone. Damn. Damn. I'm so sad right now. I'm so sad. Let's see if we can gamble away all our feelings on the draft app. Damn, I'm really upset. Dude, it's like totally wasted power rankings. We edit this thing, and he said Tyrod earlier, you chucho. I'm so mad I edited this thing for it to not work and for me to schwitz through the panic of it not working and then looping and then going into iMovie during the show and then converting it in VLC during the show and then converting it and redropping it into OBS during the show and then playing it during the show, having it loop during the show, coming back with no audio twice. Oh, the Nagila. He's a Jewish wrestler. I'm so mad. He's so stupid. So stupid. Oh my gosh. Really dumb. Really dumb. Not that cool, man. I really tried. There's some funny stuff there, man. Let's go to the Play Draft app. If you want, I'm going to try to get that video on Twitter in its entirety. It's 2 minutes. And then I'll have the full video later in the week. I'm almost positive. I just got crushed just now. So mad. So mad. Live draft on draft. Let me know who you want to draft. Live draft on draft. Live draft on draft. Let me know who we should draft. Live draft on draft. Here we go, baby. Live draft on draft. Keenan Allen, CJ. What's going on, Sounds of CSG? Keenan Allen, CJ, or Jordy Nelson for flex. I love CJ today. Chargers, one of those worst run defenses we just covered. And totally fine with CJ Anderson. 0.5 PPR. Yeah, CJ. All right, who should we draft? We don't want to take a quarterback early, so we want to stack late. So Breeze is going to go. I would probably take Hundley against the Saints or Tyrod. Number one guy, we want Bell probably. Bell or Melvin or CJ. Julio's a good pick. Yep, Julio. Doug Martin's not a big pick. Dude, I'm stressing. What's going on, Jimmy? Jimmy, don't stress. Jimmy, we got plenty of time till kickoff. Why does my phone say 9:41 a.m.? Anyone else struggling here? 9:41 a.m. What are we doing, dude? 9:41 a.m. Why is my phone doing that? Murray is playing. No, dude, Murray. Practiced. Doesn't need to practice all week. Jimmy, Murray didn't practice all week against Seattle. 150 yards. He didn't practice all week. Browns, Jimmy. Breathe with me. We're going to take DeMarco Murray in this flipping draft. Give me a football draft. Give me 3 people, $3. Enter. Boom. Le'Veon Bell and DeMarco Murray is who we want. And then we'll figure the rest out later. Shady and Mark Ingram too. Wow, DeMarco Murray got buried on this list. 4.6. Oh, what does the draft app know that we don't know? That's insane. Why is DeMarco Murray with Damian Williams and Corey Grant? What the fuck is that all about? I screenshotted it because I'm going to tweet it. That makes no sense. Gronk, yes. Thomas, yes. Cooks, yes. Dez, yes. Thielen, yes. Demarius, yes. Garcon, yes. Ertz, yes. All right, we got third pick on the turn. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody type. Everybody type what you got. Type what you want. Type what you want. Picks are moving. Le'Veon Bell, gone. I think we're going to be able to get DeMarco Murray. I think people are sleeping on him. They're just pulling from the queue. I'm up next. I'm up next. Antonio Brown, gone second. We got 2. I want Shady and I want Julio. What do you guys think about that? Shady. Right off the bat, who touches this squad? Shady and Julio. Right off the bat, who touches this squad? Who touches the squad? We're waiting on quarterbacks. That's the new thing in the draft app, is people wait on quarterbacks. I'm not really the best at that, but... Yo, I'm so mad this video didn't work. I'm stewing, dude. This guy's running out of time, and then he's got... Then the one guy's got 2 picks. Hopefully he gets auto-drafted a Cuber. Yes! Roethlisberger, Brown stack. I totally understand why. He goes AJ Green, Gurley. That's disgusting. Now the middle guy goes. We can wait on a quarterback. We got one of each. Here we go. I feel pretty good. Go Mariota later. Interesting. It's only one quarterback. Oh, man. Only one more running back. I can take Ingram, Howard, or Murray. What are the wide receivers like? I love Michael Thomas. Let's see if we can't get a Cooks Brady stack. Let's take Cooks Brady stack, and then whoever's left. Whoever's left. Then we'll take whatever running back is left. I think that's a very good strategy. All we need is a running back, and we have to get one of these 4 guys. There's no way we can't get one of these 4 guys. And McKinnon just went. It wasn't on the list. So I'm going to get one of these guys. I'm up next. Look at that. I can take Mark Ingram. Bing, bang, bang. Woohoo! Brady Cook stack. Ingram on the back. Oh, hey. Do I need a receiver? No, I need a running back. Oh, I'm up next. I'm up next. Oh, what the... Ow. Packers going to be struggling after that Rodgers injury. I don't necessarily think that's true. I'm telling you, Brett Hundley, multiple preseasons, multiple years in the system. He's not Scott Tolzien. He's not just showing up for the first game. I promise you that. Look at this squad, though. Who beats this squad, though? We're projected to get second. Brady Shady. Brady Shady. Cooking up some JJ. I love this team. Remember, each week we do drafts on the draft app every Sunday in the 3rd hour. We've got a winning record. We've got a winning record this season. So stick with it, y'all. That's it. We did a lot of stuff today that we never do. That we honestly... It hurt the show. I never messed with that much editing in my life during this show. I know the Vikings are solid, but he didn't look great against them. He's on the road. He's got to start his first NFL regular season real work at Minnesota. And guess what? They drove down for a tote. They didn't not drive down for a tote. They did drive down for a tote. They were already losing when he got in. Deion Lewis, Sanu, Mixon, pick 2. Mixon and Sanu, not even close. McKinnon feelings. Workhorse, going to have to touch the ball a lot with Diggs out. Tough defense. Not so tough. Teams have had mild success running against the Ravens, but McKinnon's two-way nature and his general insane athleticism is going to allow him to have a triple-digit total yards. Three digits yards from scrimmage day. That's how I feel about him. Halfway to the 1 p.m. kickoff start. Make sure you got your survivor pick in today. The survivor pick today is the Cowboys at San Fran, rookie quarterback debut. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I just don't see the Cowboys losing that game by any way, shape, or form, stretch of the imagination. Balling out. I think that's totally fine. A couple things we didn't finish today. We didn't finish our tiers. We got barely halfway through this. Tier 2, the D's matchups. Cardinals at Rams, London. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Buccaneers at Bills. Low scoring, but the people involved will be involved. No Jameis, no Evans, I don't think, but running backs can definitely show out. Titans, Browns. Again, you're not starting a lot of Browns, but the Titans running game should show out. Mariota's a fine start. And Washington at the Eagles. I don't know which Redskins receiver is going to do it, but one of them is usually going to do it. Chris Thompson is fine. Eagles offense, number 1. Start them all the time. Tier 3, just to kind of catch up and go through this. Bengals, Steelers, AFC North, always a field goal fest. Someone's going to make mistakes and then going to win. I'm worried about Le'Veon Bell getting hurt. Too many touches plus perfect equals injury. Panthers, Bears. Tough spot for Cam Newton on the road. Damn. The weather is bad. We're going to try this. You put your neck down when you swallow for the hiccups. Somebody who watches the show said that last week. I don't really know if it works. I also don't know what the deal is with 3-hour shows and hiccups. I don't know what the correlation play is, but it sucks. And it's weekly. And I'm sad. Again, man. Oh, we're trying. That's fun noise. We're trying, man. Broncos, Chargers. I think a lot of people just expect the Broncos to shut the Chargers down. They've scored at least 19 points in 4 straight meetings. It's not a fluke. They're going to get in the end zone twice. Just depends on how they do it. I expect them to do it with plenty of Melvin Gordon. Yo, hiccups. And our tire fire plays are not great bobs. Jags, Colts, especially without Fournette. There's no one dominant fantasy option on the field. Ravens, Vikings, 2 good defenses, 2 bad quarterbacks. Enough said. Jets, Dolphins, 2 average defenses, 2 bad quarterbacks. And Seahawks, Giants, 2 good secondaries and 2 bad rushing teams. Makes for another slow fantasy day. Again, the boom-bust nature of players like Russell Wilson, Devontae Parker, T.Y. Hilton doesn't mean we automatically bench those guys. It just means we got to worry about it. We got to think about it. These are your game outlooks for Week 7. Know them. Whew. Final half hour. Your boy's like, I play the theme song while I'm trying to recover here. I got the hiccups like crazy. I can't talk for more than 5 seconds. If Delaney doesn't play, I like Kittle. But I think Delaney's going to play against that single high of the Browns. And that means they're going to go to him a lot. If he plays, it'll be his best game of the year. It's rough, man. This water is not necessarily helping. How long to the match before Kurt Angle breaks his neck? Oh, Keith, thanks for stopping in, man. Great question. I said it earlier in the show. I don't know if you saw. This is our second time talking about Kurt Angle on the show. These hiccups, Hava Nagila. Oh, my God. So Kurt Angle hasn't wrestled for over a decade, and he's going to wrestle tonight. So I see Kurt Angle, like, hiccups. Getting in, doing a couple of good spots, and then getting to that point in like 90s wrestling where there's a lot of crawling around the ring, a lot of summoning stamina. There will probably be an elongated sleeper hold spot tonight. You just got to help these older wrestlers with their conditioning. But I do think he'll do a couple of things. I hope he meets his son. Little things. What's going on, Lewis? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you told a friend that you were stopping by the show. Just hanging. Who should I start as my second wide receiver? T.Y. Hilton, Sterling Shepard, or Alshon Jeffrey? I think that T.Y. Hilton's going against a... Hiccups! T.Y. Hilton's going against a really strong Jaguar secondary, so I think his opportunities will be limited. Sterling Shepard, similarly. Giants wide receivers really struggled in their first game without Odell, and that was against the Broncos. And it's a similar secondary in Seattle, and Shepard really struggled. Evan Engram, if anybody, on the Giants receiving core. Alshon Jeffrey is someone I do like. No Josh Norman. Rashad Breeland get picked on last year. Hold your nose and plug your ears same time. Get me a third hand. What am I supposed to do? Plug my nose and plug my ears? What am I supposed to do with that? Gorgalor, you the man. I appreciate you giving all this cash to the Checkdown today. I'm gonna have a nice lunch on Gorgalor. What do I put on the board, my man? One more board drawing for the day, and then I'm cut you off. This dude runs the board. Oh my God. Middle fingers in ears, thumbs on nose. Middle fingers in ears, thumbs, middle fingers in ears. Thank you for watching the Checkdown. My name's Rick Rosen, and now... middle fingers, it counts to 15 like this. This is the surefire way to get rid of the hiccups. Thanks to Michael Suhu for the tip. I hope this ends soon. And hey Jimmy, hope you have a great day, Jimmy. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate you sticking around for the show. Jimmy's the man. A lot of you guys dirt on Jimmy. You should. Jimmy was here. Jimmy was the first one in today. First one in, last one out. Just pure grit, determination. Real workman-like approach to the game. Oh my God. Suhu, I'm hiccuping while doing your stupid face thing. I clogged all my orifices for you. Ugh. Jimmy's the man. I didn't hold my breath. Eat shit. No cursing. Oh, okay, Gorgalor. Defense, Arizona or Rams? If it's just down to those two, I like Arizona, but I don't like that it's just down to those two. Arizona's done a pretty good job stuffing the run. They're actually a top 6 run defense, and if you can shut down Gurley, you're 3/4 of the way there to shutting down the Rams. Miami, a little bit more sound. Miami gave up 20 points to the Jets. It's not that I'm worried about Miami as like a point-scoring defense. Miami doesn't get sacks. They don't get picks. They don't get... You're really rolling the dice. Philly, again, Washington, very good offense. You're going to give up 24 points. You might get a touchdown, but you're going to give up 24 points. So I think if any of those... Arizona is not only the best run defense of all the ones that you've mentioned, it's also the most likely for a pick 6, most likely for a special team score. That's a big play defense. They got hitters. And the Rams are probably the worst offense besides the Jets of any of the teams that they're playing against. So it's not a terrible... It's granted, it's a concession. You don't want to do it, but thank you so much for the super chat. It's definitely your best bet. Hiccups! I'm going to write this one down for you, Gorgalor. This is you and me, baby. Cards defense over Rams, Finns, and Eagles. Boom. Book it. Love it. Love you guys. 24 minutes out. 1 o'clock starts. I can't believe we're going out without Leonard Fournette. You know Leonard Fournette's got 100 games. Got a touchdown in every game this season. Taggy tags with minutes to spare. What's up, dude? How do I get rid of the hiccups? I need you to tell me live on the air because I'm struggling. Oh my god. I hope that's like this is like there's like a bit I'm doing to keep the show funny because like I hate this. Hiccup remedies. Grab a cup of water and drink it upside down. How do I get upside down? I wonder if I flip the monitor over, is that gonna, if I turn the laptop over, is that gonna record me upside down? I have enough stuff plugged in that I don't want to do it. The top of your head should be towards the ground. Never gonna happen. But I guess that's with the tilt, because I was tilting. Manimal, what's going on, Manimal? Address the trade. I will address the trade. Give me 1 second. Just bend all the way over and drink. Okay, I'm going to try this now. I'm going to bend my head down and drink water. And then I will answer the trade from Ortega and then Manimal's quarterback question. Both very good questions, by the way. You should stay tuned. Coming up next. That hurts. I get sad with the when I can't win, I get sad. And right now I can't win against these hiccups. They're just unstoppable. 20 minutes. And then I will go away forever. Fins D versus Jets D, Buffalo defense. 100% Buffalo defense, buddy. All right, let's scroll back up. Adam Ortega, what's the trade? Hunt and Benjamin for Bell and John Brown. Which side wins? Standard. You have to point your head upside down. That's dumb. Everything about that's dumb. Okay, so Kareem Hunt and Kelvin Benjamin are obviously very good ones. But I like Le'Veon Bell and John Brown because I think John Brown's a higher upside than Benjamin. I'd rather have John Brown as a weekly starter, I believe. Insane breathing patterns for 15 seconds. Rapid inhales, exhales. I feel lightheaded and I have the hiccups now. So, killing myself. I'm killing myself. Killing myself. Didn't like it. I personally, I like Le'Veon Bell over Kareem Hunt. And I know Kelvin Benjamin is a little better than John Brown, but honestly, it's because he's been playing more and the offense does need him with Olsen out. It's really close. It's a really close trade that I would probably rather have Hunt and Benjamin, but it's very even. It's really about Benjamin and Brown because with Hunt and Bell, it's pretty even. I'd probably go Bell over Hunt and Benjamin over Brown, and I'm sure that's the logic that the trade went through. But I don't know. I would probably rather non-PPR, I'd probably rather have Kareem Hunt because he does seem to get more runs. He's the dominant running back, and Kelvin Benjamin is more likely to catch touchdowns. Thanks, Kirk. How do you play fantasy football? Sahil, that's a great question. Basically, We have players that are on NFL teams. We have a fake roster of players. Oh, Manimal, I got your question in a second. You fake roster of players, and we all have players on our team. Sahil. And if they do good in the real games, then we get points on our team. So, like, if you're watching soccer, you and I could both have Cristiano Ronaldo on our team. If Cristiano Ronaldo scores a goal in real life, and Madrid plays Malaga, then we both get points on our fantasy team, but we have full teams, and whoever has more points wins. Manimal, between Simeon and Hunley, I kind of like Hunley, but people will say Simeon, the weather is better and the matchup is better. I just think he's going to have positive game script, and he's going to be running the ball to CJ a lot because CJ didn't get enough run last week, and we'll have a little bit of a squeaky wheel thing going this week. Hiccups. Wow. 18 minutes. Wow. Can I start today? If you use a daily fantasy, DFS, FanDuel, DraftKings, or the Draft app, or something like that, you can play daily fantasy. But mostly this show is about season-long fantasy and picking who is the best starters on our roster of players. That's it. That's totally it. You can start today. You can start today for like less than $1. You can play. It makes it really fun, honestly. I don't know. Thanks, Kirk. You called me out. It's a tough trade, and I have to go to the bathroom. So that's me getting squeamy on it. It's just the way it is. I've been drinking a lot of water. I'm drinking a lot of coffee. I drank a lot of both yesterday, trying to get the show ready. I'm trying to hold it. I can't. I'm going to be right back. Your costume in one word to me, and I said, "What are you?" And you said,
I'm Jewish.
"Hava Nagila." How about that? You're really repping here.
I am.
What's with these? What's with the boots?
I'm a professional wrestler.
Oh, really?
On top of being Jewish, I wrestle every weekend up and down the East Coast.
This is one of the more tremendous cosplays I've seen today.
Cosplay?
Sir, you showed up and you described your costume in one word to me, and I said, "What are you?" And you said,
I'm Jewish.
"Hava Nagila." How about that? You're really repping here.
I am.
What's with these? What's with the boots?
I'm a professional wrestler.
Oh, really?
On top of being Jewish, I wrestle every weekend up and down the East Coast.
This is one of the more tremendous cosplays I've seen today.
Cosplay?
It's one thing to have a video not play. That's fine. But three times I forget to turn my mic back on. It's so embarrassing. Manimal, I go with Marquise Lee with Taylor Gabriel. Taylor Gabriel's not out, but Mohamed Sanu's back in. So severely limited looks for Taylor Gabriel and Marquise Lee. Either way, it's bad, but I would go Lee over Gabriel for red zone touches. That's so embarrassing. This was such a bad show in my eyes. This is the one where I'm like, I'm going to edit right after the show. I'm going to have to watch this. I'm going to have to watch me hiccup for 3 hours. But at least I got to do some drawing. We added 3 new drawings to our emoji board, courtesy of our man Gorgalore. Manimal, thank you. Check in earlier. We do more shenanigans. It's a 3-hour show, dog. Wake up early, grab some coffee with the Checkdown. Because when he has too much coffee, he has to take several breaks. Not advertising. Can you check my channel? That sounds a little like advertising, but why don't you put the sound? Why don't you just post the name of your channel in the chat and we'll all go click on it at 1 o'clock. Oh, Fedora, thank you so much. Manimal, 16-man league. That's awesome. I love that. Invite me next year. We'll talk about it every week on the Checkdown, boy. Thanks, Fedora. I really appreciate it. You know, every week, who's... Susuwa? Tim Suwa? Yomaseo? That thing's not playing in the background, is it? Nope. Wait, one more time. Nope. Okay. Yeah, Manimal, that's crazy. 16-man leagues is crazy. Who says you had a bad show? Oh, me in my head when I have stupid technical things. Like, I think the content today was really good. I feel like we have a really good beat on what's happening in football season, especially when we drop in science. My man from Xbox, the Overwatch killer himself, dropping science, baby. Tight end Delaney Walker or George Kittle. 100% Walker's healthy. We're going to get Walker in the lineup. It might be the best Delaney Walker game of the year. Cleveland plays a very high single high safety, and tight ends have been able to expose them this year. Safarian Jenkins, etc., etc. Every tight end has gotten in on the Browns, and Delaney Walker should be no different unless he's hobbled, but we're going to play him anyway. Sahil, you the man. Thank you so much for subbing. We do this live every Sunday for 3 hours. We talk about fantasy football and all the minutia all around it. So yeah, as far as the NFL, I think we have a good beat on it. We're identifying the good defenses and the bad defenses, and we're picking our good matchups, and we're good in research. The product on Sunday, let's smooth it out. Let's grease our own squeaky wheel, you know? We get stuff like the emoji boards looking beautiful, but for every emoji board, every emoji going up, we got the emoji board coming down. We got segments not loading. Power rankings are supposed to be the backbone of the checkdown. Do I like Darkwa over Kamara in standard? In standard, I do. In standard, I do because of workload. Kamara's a PPR guy, and they love Ingram. So the only way I can see Kamara having a better game than Darkwa is if the Saints blow out the Packers. And we're playing in the rain in Green Bay. It's not ideal situation. Kamara is a dome blowout dream. That's the way I want you to think of him. He's very talented. Darkwa is the grinder. I think Darkwa can score a short yardage touchdown today if the Giants make it down there. Praise it. I like Darkwa over Kamara. But Kamara has value this year, and the Saints really like Kamara, and that's really important to know going forward. Really strong end to the show. Really strong end to the show. We are living. We are large. Sahil, put the name of your channel into the show so we can all see what you work on. Did you guys ever watch that Darkwa in the New Orleans Bowl? That was such an amazing game. Let's look it up. Darkwa in the New Orleans Bowl. I Googled it. Gorgalore, I Googled it, and I think we're all about to watch it. Shut up. Runs into history. Three touchdowns, you say? Darkwa, New Orleans Bowl highlights. We're going to try to fire him up. Dude, I cried that game. Drew, what's going on, man? Spies. Hey, did you guys ever watch Ajayi? Oh, Suhu, Ajayi, Kamara, Aaron Jones, or Duke Johnson, PPR, pick 2. That's a rough one. I would probably... It's hard not starting Ajayi. He is a stud, but I'm not an Ajayi guy. If you have Ajayi, you got to play Ajayi, and then I like Duke Johnson because of game script. That was the most emotional football game I've ever seen. Shut up, Drew. Clearly a spy. Clearly a spy. Gorgler from my couch. If you have ever cried from your couch during a sporting event, tell us about it in the chat. I cried when Manchester City came back from 2-0 down to beat QPR to win the league. I cried. Fedora, you the man. I'll see you next week. Orleans Darkwa versus Louisiana Lafayette. This is what we want. Man on fire. We're trying to get a shot of this is Orleans Darkwa's senior year. The R&L Carriers New Orleans. Oh, they said his name. Oh! I feel like everybody else is standing still. Oh, they start both the running backs. Double shotgun back. Oh, that's just a nice block. Darkwa from his own 5. Am I supposed to fast forward? Let's see him break him down. Let's see him work the second half. Ooh, Darkwa. There's Darkwa again. Oh, it's a good block. Why are we showing him block? Oh, another good block. Ew. And they got the first down on that because he threw a nice block. Earns a touch. Dude, he loves contact. Oh, I'm not going to watch this dude take 4-yard losses. Oh, I can only watch so many 4-yard losses. I got to find the whole game. Not going to watch the whole game. I mean, highlights don't do that game justice. I mean, justice isn't served. I guess I'd have to go to the very end of the game, but it didn't look like much was going on. A whole lot of nothing. He had 3 touchdowns, but it looked like his team wasn't doing so hot. I'm sure the end was very dramatic. What do we got? We got 7 minutes here, boys. Fire away. I want to know if you cried. Oh, Chris Johnson, 2007 Hawaii Bowl. Did you cry, though? He kills it. Got him a first-round pick. Yeah, he... Oh, Tim. Oh, Tim. My man. I got a ton of picks in, Yaz. I got a ton of picks, tons of first half, some parlays. We got real spoopy on it. Tim, the emoji board's looking real crowded, but there's space for you, man. There's space for you. You want something, but I love Tim's 2 super chats for $8.08 and $4.44. What's your favorite 2 first halves? I don't remember. Fave Jay-Z project and favorite 2 favorite Jay-Z song. Sorry. Favorite. I was like, what's your favorite Jay-Z project and your favorite 2 first halves? What? Sunday night game at Yaz, boys. Book it. I missed the show. Been quiet. Sorry, y'all. Football's about to begin, though. Fournette's out. I'm crying. Yo-Yo, we love you. That's okay. Yo-Yo, look at all the work we put on the emoji board today. We got a note. I drew a flower, and I drew a 0 for German scoring. Who's my MLS team? New York City FC, baby. City till I die. Here come the boys in blue. Come on, you boys in blue. Terzilli against Michigan. Wait, what? Yo-Yo is one of the OGs. Okay, favorite Jay-Z project is Watch the Throne, obviously. Favorite Jay-Z song. Favorite Jay-Z song. Public service announcements, fucking crazy. Oh, cursing. That's only like 4 today. It's only like 4 or 5. Hey, when you get technical errors, you let the bombs fly. Terzilli versus Tulane. Lit. So I don't want to pick something off Watch the Throne. But yeah, I love public. When I finish here, I'm gone. You'll remember something. They didn't have to tell you, Jack. I'm trying to think. There's definitely some other ones. Dude, we were just listening to Renegade because I was looking for Renegade. I was looking for the Styx song, Renegade, and I ended up with Renegade, You've Been Afraid. Mother say that I'm foolish. I only talk about jewels. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? City Field today, New York City FC. They're treating us very well. I love it. We're getting ready for a playoff push. I got my playoff ticket for New York City FC home opener thanks to my boy in the supporter section. It's going to be super lit. We're going to eat like no tomorrow. J&M in that song, there was like a story with that song where Eminem or the beat was supposed to be, Jay-Z sent it to Eminem. They didn't finish the beat. Should you go to the game? It's honestly not bad. It's pretty fun. it gets rowdy. Like, City has to check us for smoke bombs. Like, we will try to bring smoke bombs into City Field, like 100p. So our fan section is good. Bandwagon fans all day. Oh, Seahawks, absolutely, yeah. New York City FC though. So Jay-Z sent Eminem being like, yo, I'm gonna finish this beat, and then Eminem lays it down, and then the beat was just never the beat finished, but it didn't sound as good, so they just kept it. That's why it sounds so stripped down, because it was supposed to be more, but they're like, this is overproduced. Just take it back to the drums. Drums is really all you need. I'll finish talking about Eminem and Jay-Z. Absolutely. Week 7. Hiccups are gone. All I had to do was talk about things I like talking about. Soccer and Jay-Z. And beautiful, 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 beautiful. Maybe it was a surprise. The super chat shocked me. But today was a great day. We didn't go through our He's Due list. So let's do that one time. We got 3 minutes. He's Due. Bang. Dion Lewis could take Mike Gillislee's job tonight if things fall the right way. Robert Woods has gotten too many targets to not score a touchdown. He's firmly implanted as the Rams' number 2 receiver and has nowhere to go but up. Joe Mixon has gotten the largest carry share of any Bengals running back since Bill Lazor came into the offense. He's only scored once. He should score more. He should finally start breaking big runs. He's too strong to keep getting tackled by defensive backs. Adam Thielen, no digs. Thielen's been shredding, but standard, he hasn't been there because he hasn't gotten into the end zone. I think he's finally going to break one. Have a nice day today. Nick O'Leary, Charles Clay out, Nick O'Leary in. Tight ends getting a larger target share in Buffalo than anybody else in the league. Mike Gillislee off waivers. Nice. Nick O'Leary deserves to be on every on a fantasy lineup in every league. And that's it. Dion Lewis. I just ran through them real quick. These are the guys. Very important. Get them on a team. I think they're going to blow up. These are pre-blow up guys. So that's He's Due. Would you consider doing a stream on Twitch? I would. I have thought about it. This is kind of a precursor to here. YouTube, we're doing it because of our connection with Heavy.com. Heavy's YouTube channel has been around for a very long time. It's got very good SEO cred and just general internet credibility points for being around for so long. Ideally, I'd probably want to write, talk fantasy, and stream on Twitch because I play a ton of Hearthstone and a ton of Overwatch and a ton of Fortnite. So I want to be... Heavy can make a Twitch channel, but I want to be able to be... Sundays, I want to be focused on giving you guys the lineup advice and being locked into chat. And weekdays, that's more of a time when I can stream and talk about the games and talk about things that happened and then take some of the more day-to-day questions about developments and schemes and how certain games played out. I think that's the best way to do it. It's down the line, Tim. It's not an option. Not an option. Oh, JTEs, dude. All about those JTEs. This is it, baby. 1 p.m. You have a great day. You have a great day. Be the best you can be. That's week 7. We'll see you for the checkdown. Week 8.